Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first qualifier in the IPL 2024. This is Guerrilla Cricket. I'm Andy Ward. The league season has finally ended. 6 teams have been sent home in disgrace. 4 remain to play off for the 2024 IPL Championship. But no one's going to be sent home in disgrace today. Firstly, because these 2 teams have a double chance, which they've earned by finishing in the top 2 in the IPL's unique and I think rather good playoff format. So the Sunrisers and the Kolkata Knight Riders are playing for a place in the final, but the losers will go through to the elimination playoff or qualifier 2 or whatever the heck it is on Friday. Anyway, and also 2 people who are never going to be sent home in disgrace. First of all, on my right, the man who sends people home in disgrace, if anyone needs to be, it's Nigel the Bear Walker.
Do I send people home in disgrace? I hope I don't.
Well, you have that power, should it be needed.
Yeah, well, yes, I can be quite like that, I suppose. Well, here we go. We're in the last 4 games. Finally, we get to the end of this monotonous tournament.
Indeed. And also joining us today, on my left, is Ryan.
Hi everyone. Hi Andy, hi Burr.
We're all good and looking forward to this game. So, as I said, it's the Kolkata Knight Riders against the Sunrisers Hydbd. I think over 14 games, fairly indisputably the 2 best and most consistent teams. So, I just did remind myself which way to ask this. Ryan, who did I ask you to take us through? It was the Sunrisers. So, take us through their strengths.
Yeah, so their main strength is their batting. Their openers, Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, are in good form. They took us through in most of the matches.
Yep.
So, and they're also quite good in the bowling. Bhuvaneswar Kumar, who is off mood in the starting stages of the tournament, came back to his form, found his form, and is bowling very nicely in the later stages. And with Pat Cummins and T. Natarajan in their bowling lineup, so I think they have the major chance of qualifying, moving to the finals today.
Sure, and I think Pat Cummins deserves a lot of credit for turning the culture of the team round a little bit. I'm sure the new coach will have a hand in that as well. But yeah, the Sunrisers definitely come out with a lot more intent this year, and it's paid off.
And the good thing is they won the toss and choose to bat, so they want to post a score on the board, and they have confidence of defending that.
Yep, going with their strength. Right, well, having said all that, showered them with praise, they didn't finish top of the league, Bear. That was the Kolkata Knight Riders.
Well, yes, and they've come along and they look good, and
Yeah.
they've got a chance, the same as everyone else, I guess, at this point, and they get a second chance if they lose, I presume, on this
Which
one.
counts for a lot, yeah.
It does, yes.
But it's very much off the back of their top order batting and some canny bowling as well. Sunil Narayan, Phil Salt, who has left the tournament to rejoin up with England, bit of a shame. But yeah, they've also got all the all-round bowling covered, and I thought they were the best team over the 14 games.
Well, we haven't actually covered much of them, have we?
But no, the way it worked out.
I mean, the way it worked out,
Yeah.
I was just looking at. I was getting the cart out today, and actually, I don't think we actually did cover them at all.
We might not have done if
the
they
one
didn't-
team we
they
didn't cover.
play on a Thursday.
because,
We wouldn't have done them.
Their cart of jingles was very much out of date, which means we haven't used it. Yes, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of them. Seen a bit of highlights. I mean, Sunil Narayan has been having a wonderful year.
Well, we
Twilight of
can
his career,
come
so-
on to that, because I believe he is your choice for IPL Heaven, which we are choosing over the whole season today.
But the surprise stat is he's yet to score in this ground, Ahmedabad. So he scored 3 ducks in his 3 matches he played there. Let's see what he'll do.
Okay, yeah,
Well,
you're
that's
hoping
not
to
good.
turn
That's-
that around.
Yeah, be open to turn that around. But I mean, he's had some stonking scores. Did he get a ton? Or was
He
it
did
just
get
an
a
80?
ton.
He did get a ton. Got some 80s and
Couple of 80s.
and all in double quick time, like 20, 30 balls as well. I mean, he's not held back at all. And to get that many high scores in that many few balls across the tournament, it's pretty good going. He's in a high
It's
spot.
remarkable, and he's still a very good bowler.
I know. Well, I said this to you last week. I don't understand how he takes wickets. He just seems to roll it out the back
That
of his
knowledge, yeah.
hand. It is. It must be in the flight, and it must dip. On TV, it looks pretty innocuous. I guess facing it is a whole different ballgame.
Well, I guess there's the issue of picking him may not be as difficult as other bowlers, and as a spinner, half a bat's all the turn you need.
Yeah, true, but he doesn't seem to get any turn. He doesn't seem to move. He doesn't. It seems to me now that he kind of runs up and just sort of flips it out the back of his hand like that. There's no real roll on it. I mean, it doesn't seem to do anything really, and he still bamboozles batsmen and gets loads of wickets. Maybe it's because he throws it.
Well, that's certainly why he's not going to be at the T20 World Cup. I'm sure he would have been otherwise. But yeah, I think a lot of it is his selection, his choice of where to bowl against a particular batsman, and maybe he's just one step ahead of a lot of them in the game of rock, paper, scissors. He knows what they're going to do, and he bowls it accordingly. Ryan, who's your choice for IPL Heaven over the 14 games?
The young Southpaw who scored 417 runs in this season, who opened the batting for Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's Abhishek Sharma.
Yep, we're going to see him soon.
Yeah, he's been one hell of a form, and he's the revelation in this season of IPL. But the thing is, he never faced more than 30 balls in this season.
Wow, really?
But he scored 417 runs at the
That's
strike
quite
rate of
something,
210.
Yeah. So presumably his highest score is no more than 60 or something.
675 against Punjab.
When they scored
when
runs
they
in
scored-
10 overs. Yeah.
He's my IPL heaven, and hopefully he'll find a place in the Indian team in the future. Let's
Yep,
see.
he's not going to be in this upcoming World Cup, is he?
Yeah,
Not
no,
quite.
yeah.
A lot of competition in those batting spots. Not least for my choice for IPL Heaven, the one, the only, the king, Virat Kohli. He showed everyone. He showed me. He showed us all.
He showed you. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He's been banging him for quite a while.
I
now.
was banging him relentlessly for the first half of the tournament, and so were a lot of people with more clout than me. He's scoring too slowly, he's being selfish, he's costing the team the results, and he doesn't care. Well, somehow, from being bottom of the table and written off by everybody, again including me, RCB won their last 6 games, including a remarkable win against CSK in the last one, and they've sneaked their way into the playoffs. Kohli scored 700 runs. It's not quite his 900-run season, but he could have 3 games left.
Couple of tons, 3 tons, and he gets 1,000.
Exactly, and any of you who follow betting, bets were placed on the RCB at 860 to 1 to win this tournament.
Wow.
Someone said, yep, you can bet 860 to 1, £1 of yours to 860 of mine. I think that person, depending on how many pounds it was, is going to be sweating a bit now.
Yes, exactly. Was that on the exchanges?
That's on the exchanges,
Ooh.
yeah. And so they'll be playing tomorrow. Keep an eye on that one. We're covering England-Pakistan tomorrow. We're mixing matching, but don't worry, we will definitely be here for the IPL final, and I believe we'll be here for the second qualifier on Friday as well. So KKR and Rajasthan and RCB tomorrow. Just touching on that, RCB have won 6 in a row. Rajasthan have lost 4 in a row. So any believers in momentum will be firmly in the RCB camp. But today we're focusing on this game. And as I say, getting into that top 2 does make a huge difference. That second chance makes a big, big difference. You've got to lose 2 games to not be in the final.
Yes.
So that's going to be a big one. It's played in Ahmedabad because it all depends on who was in the finals last year. And as we say, the Sunrisers have elected to bat first. Now, they sneaked past the Rajasthan Royals on run rate after the Royals were rained off on Sunday. They thought they were going to have a 7-over game and have a chance to win that and get back in the top 2. It didn't happen. We have had a lot of rain in the IPL in the week. Hopefully it won't affect us today.
Yeah, today the temperature is scorching heat of 45 degrees Celsius. So I'm sure there'll be no rain in today's match. And another surprising stat for this is, once after the playoff format come into the scene, the team who finishes second has always placed a final in this IPL after the playoff format came into the scene. So
interesting, yeah.
Sunrisers Hyderabad have the major chances as the luck follows.
Well, they've certainly been explosive so far. We've rattled through that today. Oh no, I know why we've rattled through it, because we haven't done IPL hell. We haven't condemned anyone to hell. That's the best bit. So Ryan, who do you have for IPL hell over the series?
Another Southpaw who has a lot, who has a lot of talent, but he's not picked up in this IPL. He's none other than Rinku Singh.
Mm-hmm.
He also got omitted from the T20 World Cup because of his poor performance in this IPL. He averaged 59 in last year's season, but in this season he averaged only 19, so which is a big slump in form when compared to his form in the international scenario. So he scored 189 odd runs in 12 matches at an average of 19. So hopefully, if KKR needs to win today, I believe with the absence of Phil Salt, Rinku Singh needs to find his form today.
Well, I think he would argue he might do better if he wasn't being sent in with 2 overs left. There are times when it seemed like a perfect time to send him in, 5-6 overs left, and Shreyas Iyer's gone in himself instead. Yeah,
but still, so he batted out of 12 matches. I think he batted 10 or 11 matches, and he got out on most of the matches. So he was not out on only 2 matches. So it's like, even if he bats for 10 or 12 balls, he needs to score a minimum of 20 odd runs. So that's what KKR needed from him, but he failed to do that in this IPL.
Well, that may have factored into India's bold decision not to select a finisher at all in their World T20 squad. They seem to go with 4 number 4s instead. Yeah. Anyway, Bear, who are you condemning to hell over this IPL
it's got to be
season?
Mitch Stark. Had a poor IPL, a man who comes in with that horrible, dreaded fucking weight around his neck, the most
record
expensive
price
man.
tag, yep.
And once again, it proves to be the curse that is, and he's not had a great IPL. I think he's a great bowler, but he's not really had the figures. He's got some serious tap in a few games.
Yeah.
Not really taking the wickets and not
He-
done what
he-
he's supposed to have done.
He took 4 in one game, but he got 3 really cheap ones at the end.
Yeah, well, that often happens, and
Yeah.
that's how you can boost your wickets in a T20.
It does, but he has been expensive. He's gone for 11, 12 and over. He also hasn't scored any runs. I mean, he is supposed to contribute with the bat. And,
He's capable of it as well.
yeah, I think a lot of
You
these
watch it, he'll have a fucking stunning World Cup.
have a stunning World Cup. He may play brilliantly today, so may Riku Singh prove us all wrong. But yeah, I'm a lot of these straight up quick bowlers. I wonder if they're really the thing in T20. Keir had a
Well-
very bad tournament as well.
Well, I think there's something in this. It's been very hot, and primarily Stark, especially with a new ball, gets quick in swing late as well, and it doesn't seem to have been as much for as many overs. I mean, someone at Bolt's pace has managed
That's
it. but
exactly
Stark's-
what I was going to say. Play
Stark's a bit
Bolt
quicker.
and Boovey bowling
Yeah.
a little bit slower. And I think Bolt is just perfectly in the sweet spot. He bowls quick enough and has been taking a bunch of wickets. Anyway, my choice is someone who's not going to get to redeem himself in World Cup or IPL. A man with, I think, a 7 crore price tag. Devdutt Padikkal scored 38 runs in this IPL at an average of 5. I don't think I have to add anything to that. That's fairly shocking.
He was the next big thing 2 years ago.
Yeah. He's moved to Lucknow Super Giants. They've not had a particularly good season. They were in contention, but they just fell off at the end. And that'll be one for them to look out. Anyway, the sparklers are going. The batsmen are coming out. We can jingle up 2 batsmen if we please. One of them is Ryan's pick for IPL Heaven, Abhishek. And the other is an Aussie we're going to be seeing a lot of at the T20 World Cup. So let's jingle up those boys.
Shama police. It's Abhishek, man, he's really young. He's making me feel old. He truly looks like he's 12 years old.
And the other is this guy. The great Prince.
Good stuff.
Who's bowling?
I think it's going to be hell versus heaven right at the start. Because I think it's Mitchell Stark.
Oh,
Wouldn't you know? He's probably going to get Abhishek out first ball just to prove everybody wrong.
I've got to go under. Let's have a jingle for him.
Well, Australia not taking the same view as England about pulling their players out a little bit early.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, I wonder how much T20s in England are actually good preparation for the Caribbean and how much of it is just the finger sign means money.
Yeah, I mean, there is something in that. I suppose getting the team together. There isn't a lot of time between the end of this. Maybe give them a bit of time at home as well. Maybe they want to, get their
I
brains.
can't imagine they had much time to sit around. No.
Yeah, but at least you're in, I don't know, familiar surroundings and unfamiliar.
Yeah, but
surroundings.
is it even worse to come home for like a week and then leave again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Team building, maybe.
Well, something, whatever that means. Yeah. Just in more time to get on each other's nerves. Well, the stumps have lit up green for some reason. Ryan, you're going to join us again soon at over 6, I think. Jez is going to join us. Hello.
Hello, how are you going, Andy and Bear?
All good. And people joining Jez on social media.
Mog is with us. He says, play the IPL hell jingle, Bear. And Parrot Badger says, ahoy old sorts and heavily seasoned sea dogs.
That's Bios. Right, Stark's going to come in. He's going to bowl to his Australian teammate Travis Head. Left arm over. It's full. Head drives. It's going to go out to cover. And ooh, he scampered down the wicket a little bit, the batsman. And the fielder, I think was Shreyas Iyer, wanted to keep him honest. Whizzed it in over the stumps.
Well, I've got my under 28.5 for the first wicket. That's pretty good.
Okay.
But then I guess you've got Head and Abhishek, which is probably why it's so high.
Sunrisers did elect to bat first. Actually threw at the bowler's end. Did elect to bat first. Pat Cummins said he thought it looked a good wicket. That's another... Oh no, it's a replay. God, one ball and I'm commentating.
Ooh, I think
on
it'd been out
replays.
as well if you're here.
It's still 42 degrees there, so I'd choose to bat first too, I think.
Well, yes, we all would. We're not professional athletes. We're about as far as you could get from that.
Yep, very much so. I've got 3 beers today instead of 2 because we didn't have a game last week, so I didn't drink the extra 1.
Travis Head's going to face up again. We see Gurbaz keeping... And he bowled him! He's bowled him. He's smashed Travis Head. Off stump and middle stump splayed out on the ground. Beautiful ball from Stark. It was quick. It was a little bit full, but not a half volley. Head, I think, misread the swing, was trying to play it into the leg side, played all the way inside it, and Mitchell Stark destroyed his stumps and said, "Send me to hell, take that."
This is what Mitchell Stark is saying to you, Andy.
Fuck off!
No, to you.
Just fuck off!
You
Oh,
said
yeah.
it to hell, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. But I'll blame it on you. It's your advice.
That's Travis Head's second consecutive golden duck too.
No, he did play one ball. He's not off 2 this time. He's getting better.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Perfect
I beg
form
your
going
pardon.
into a World Cup.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't be the only one. And in fact, I'd be less concerned about a 0 off 2 than Josh Butler scratching 20 off 25 in his last innings.
Well, maybe he needs a break. Mind you, he's not really been in the... Well, I suppose he's in the limelight when he's over there, but he's not really been in the limelight for England for a while because he's out of Test and we were shit in the World Cup.
Right, so Rahul Tripathi is in obviously earlier than he would have liked.
No, why don't I have him either? I'm sure I've got a jingle for him. You just talk a little bit and I'll find him.
Well, Rahul Tripathi also trying to get ready, fidgeting about, crouching down. He's going to face up now. He's going to be a left-hander for Stark to swing the ball into, and what a turnaround if Mitch Stark can get this game won in the power play for KKR.
Well, that'd be
Still
good.
a while to go before that happens. Still an expansive warming up, Tripathi. Probably wasn't quite ready. He thought, I'll be able to put my feet up for 10 minutes, surely. We've all been there at number 3.
No.
He's got a wide slip. He's got Gurbaz, as I say, keeping wicket. Phil Salt back in England. And here comes Mitchell Stark now. Does swing back in, gets the inside half. That's the biggest lump of bat on that one.
Yes.
And Stark goes for a terrible appeal. Which, thankfully, everyone else just looks at him as to what?
And Tripathi has a little smile. He's got a grey beard, has he? Knocking on a bit, Tripathi. Massive. It wasn't even inside edge. The bat turned in his hand. It was the face of the bat.
People, when they get a bad LB decision, go, I middled that one, when they really mean they edged it hard. He actually did middle that one into his pads. But, a bit more movement for Stark. Tripathi's only had 4 innings this IPL. Again, that's the Yorker, and it's punched out towards point, and he waves that one through. Stark is understandably not happy. I think backward point suddenly had forward point in his eye line, and it squeezed through a needle gap.
4 on the floor.
Bye.
And 1 more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4's are for. To get funky on the dance floor.
He's a big hitter. So what will his captain do now? He's gonna play Tripathi, right-hand batsman, yeah.
Yeah, that horrible piece of fielding at backward point, which is normally where you would put one of your better fielders. I think it looked like Venki Iyer letting that go straight through him. So, Sunrisers are underway with the boundary. Stark is in again. It's also wide and left alone by Tripathi, but it did take off after it bounced. Looks like a quick wicket. If anybody out there can tell me why the dots on the scorecard are turning into trees, I'd love to know.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you the same thing.
I'd lay odds as a sponsorship thing, somebody giving money to the environment for each dot ball bowled or something like that.
Most likely, unless they're being sponsored by actual trees. Here comes Stark to complete the over. It's slightly off-putting. Trees popping up out of nowhere. That one does fly across and it's in the air, but it is flying off the bat, and it was in front of Sunil Narayan at forward point. That's going to be 4 more. Eventful first over. It's 8 for 1.
1, 2.
Well, I have to say
buckle my
that
shoe.
I suspect
3, 4. Shut the door.
You're free to do so now.
most of our regulars are not used to us being around on a Tuesday because we've got very few communicators at the moment. Kieran Roseblade says, what are your thoughts on Jimmy's forced exit from the England setup? Well,
it's not a forced
I don't
exit.
think it's
called
forced
it's
at all.
called not picking him anymore. You know, you are allowed to do that.
Yeah. I
I think the truth is that his figures over the last 2 years haven't been as good as they were.
particularly
And,
the last
just-
year. I mean, starting from the Ashes onwards, he's been not taking the wickets that you want out of him.
Well, I think, you know, I think it's handled well. First of all, McCullum flew halfway around the world to tell him in person, which is to his credit. And I think that's where you say you get one test to say goodbye and take your bow, and then we're moving on. I think this modern thing of certain players seem to be able to stay in the team as long as they like until they decide to retire is not how things should be done.
Yeah, I think it was pretty obvious to everyone, wasn't it? I mean, it was going to be his last summer anyway. It's a question whether it was at the beginning or the end.
Right, here comes a new bowler, and that's flashed away again by Abhishek off his first ball. But deep backward pointers around, scrambles to pick it up, throw it in, but they should get back for 2, and there must have been a little bit of hesitation because that should have been a comfortable 2. But 2 they did get. Do you have a jingle for the bowler?
Ooh, Vibav. I think we did find a jingle for him. Who's bowling? KK. I always get it the wrong way around. We did. Vibav Aurora, I believe, has a jingle up there.
That noise is it, the snoring, oh he's awake, must be Aurora.
And I'll tell you what, on the replay, the last ball of the previous over was a bit closer to Sunil Narayan than I thought. He even went past it a little bit.
Didn't want to catch it, did he?
Maybe not. Batsman comes down the wicket. Vibav throws it wide. Has he thrown it too wide? I don't think so. I think he's... No, he has.
No, he
Yes,
has.
that's a wide. Yep. It's going either way. That flew past Sunil Narayan very quickly off the bat. 11 for 1, Sunrisers, after choosing to bat. Qualifier 1. And yeah, I'll come to it after this ball. Vibav comes in again, right arm over to the left-hander, and a little bit of movement away, and Abhishek just sticks his bat on it really. It flies away down to deep backward point, and the ball seems to be coming off wicket and bat very quickly. But if you're not used to us being on unusual days, get used to it, because we're going to be on a lot in the next month.
The World Cup's coming up.
Yes.
World Cup starts the week after next, and we're going to be covering as many games as we can.
Aye.
Most
With
of
some help
those.
from the Cat Haven in Melbourne.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll have some help from our friends down under. We'll be trying to do as many of the games that kick off around 3:30 and 6 p.m.
Yeah.
UK time.
We might do the odd 1:30 just because England are playing and we have to, but most of it, we're certainly not staying up all night to do fucking T20s.
Is what I think one of the semi-finals is one of those, you know.
I think they're all reasonable times, actually. I think.
Sure, that one's chopped
Maybe
down
not.
to backward point into the gap by Tripathi for a single. No, you're the man who knows these things, Jez. Is one of the semi-finals at Aussie time?
Good question. I shall let you know shortly.
I need chemical
Just
stimulation to be
edgy
up at 1:30 in the morning these days.
It's just not going to happen for me. Nope. That's just a nope.
I fall asleep regularly at about 10:30 on the sofa.
Cricket.
No. Oh, I'll start backward noise out a little bit. That's another, just a little bit of movement. Vibav, and it's played out to point by the left-handed Abhishek. There's no run. Both these teams unchanged for this match. I don't think I saw either of their previous games, so I haven't really seen Vibav. I haven't watched a ton of it overall, but I did watch that RCB CSK game at the weekend, which was very funny. I mean, that was going to be funny either way. But it was...
Yes,
all happening.
Is it-
Oh, it's out! Yep, he's been a bit flashy, Abhishek. Andre Russell takes the catch at cover point. He didn't get all of it. It was another little bit of movement from Vaibhav, and it just moved away, and he's been a bit, as I say, a bit flashy and aerial in that point area. He only got half a bat on that. Russell jumped up and took the catch, and Sunrise is in a bit of a pickle, 13 for 2.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Fortunately for Russell, he didn't have to get too high there. His right foot's only a couple of inches off the ground. Good enough, and not only does Mitchell Stark take a wicket, but Abhishek Sharma is out for 3 of 4.
You are correct. The first semi-final of the World Cup is at 1:30 a.m. British time.
Yep.
So no doubt that's one White Light Wireless might be volunteering for.
Right, well, could be anybody in that. Well, I say could be anybody. Probably won't be Uganda or Papua New Guinea, but good luck to them all the same.
Wouldn't it be something if it was?
No, Uganda versus Papua New Guinea. It'd be like when that Turkey versus South Korea World Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
So,
It'd be exciting.
another new batsman, an all-rounder. He's not been doing so well with the ball, but he has certainly had his moments with the bat recently. It's Nitish Rana.
And he has a jingle. We definitely got him. No, that's Nitish fucking Kumar. Piss off.
Oh no, maybe it isn't Nitish Kumar. Maybe it's me who's got that wrong.
Maybe it's Nitish Kumar. Now.
Yeah.
But you won't keep Nitish Kumar down. After he kills and eats you, he'll still be around.
Probably what's going to happen if I get his name wrong again. He plays that one down, back of a length. That's the end of the over.
So we do have a super chat from our good friend in the USA, Warren, who sent us $5. He says a fiver if Messi does every game of the World Cup. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Warren, but there are a number of games that start at what time is it? Something like 3 a.m.
4 a.m.
Perth
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Well, fucking that's how we feel half the time, man.
Half the time,
yeah.
selling half the time.
Yeah, there's plenty of others I've volunteered to be on, but those ones I won't be doing, Warren, I'm sorry.
Right.
Namibia versus Scotland is one that I'm going to have to give a miss.
Right. Stark is in again. He's going to bowl. Here he is. It's full. It's driven nicely up to mid-off. They're going to get through for a single. It's quickish, but I think he would have got there in time.
And we've got a couple of people catching up with us. Brian in Brisbane says, hi all. G'day, Brian. Good to have you here. And over on Twitter, we have... bloody hell, it's disappeared. Josie Oak and Warren. Afternoon from sunny Joburg, says Josie Oak.
Hello.
Welcome. And Lancashire had a win the other day, David. So you're a bit torn, I know, because Lyon was part of that, but Lancashire winning's Lancashire winning still, isn't it?
Didn't he have Ben Stokes on toast in that game?
He did, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Nitish is back on strike. Stark, that's down the leg side. He's going to have to bowl an extra one for that. Nobody reviewing that one. And Tony came into the green room and said, all cheery, did you see Middlesex's win yesterday? And we go, nope.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was happy about that 2-wicket win for Middlesex.
Got to make the best of the chances you get.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing
I actually went to the Oval last week. I
Smug,
met up with Fred and Grubby on Friday for the first session.
Full again with Stark. It's nice. Oh, a good bit of foot fielding. Who's that? I think it's Sunil Narayan. I think it's one of the two players. Probably him and Russell are allowed to field with their feet, I think, and no one else.
Someone of Narayan's gold around his neck is just too heavy. If he bent down, it's a nice chain.
Good touch. I mean, you drew that one in and ready to play it into the bottom corner.
Did I hear that right? Did you say, Bear, that you went to watch some county cricket?
I did. I went and watched the opening session of Surrey versus Warwickshire, I think it was. And Warwickshire had Surrey 15 for 4.
Oh, he'd gone for
the whole heap.
goop, Tripathi, and he's just got enough of it to shovel it really past Gurbaz, who looks not very impressed, but he went across his stumps very early, showed all his stumps, but it wasn't the full ball that would have got him in trouble. It was a length ball and he shoveled it away for 4. Now if that had been a middle stump Yorker on his foot, I think he'd have been in trouble there.
Yes. Probably wouldn't have even got his foot. Probably would have bowled him.
Well, players now, they don't care for 2 wickets down, and rightly so. Tripathi's 14 off 7. Stark comes in again. That is a Yorker on his foot, and it's tailed onto leg stump. It's close. He got some bat and some toe on it in some order, I'm not sure. It's did he get bat on that before foot? Is it tailing down the leg side? But it could pass both of those tests. They're still considering this one. They're still chatting. The timer runs out. I don't think they're going to review it. But it was one where you could have got a little bit each way.
Oh yeah.
So
If he didn't get the bat on, I think he was done.
Let's have another look. Coming in, it hit his toe first. It did hit the front toe
I
first.
think it probably would have hit the outside of the stump, but it wasn't given, so I don't think they'd have got it.
No, but like I say, I could see why it was a tricky one for the umpire. It might even have hit toe, bat, and then back pad. So there was a lot going on. Well, maybe we'll get a ball tracking on that in a bit. That one's shorter, but Nitish lets it go through. They did get a single for that last ball, and it's 21 for 2.
It's sort of easy to see how Stark gets to be so expensive in T20 cricket, but he still has some killer balls that are so useful, doesn't he?
Well, it's that whole thing about the Yorker. If you get it right, it's devastating, but if you get it a little bit wrong, it can go the distance.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a bad shout in the end. Yeah, well, let's have a look at it here. It hits him in front of leg. It may just...
Yeah.
No, it would have been out. There was enough of that hitting leg stump, so missed a trick there, Sunrisers, and Mitchell Stark will be fuming when he sees that. Maybe he has just seen it.
Yeah. Did I shout in the ground?
I'm not sure. That one's played down to backward point. End of the over. 21 for 2 could so easily have been 21 for 3.
Josie Oak is doing very well. He's listening to Guerrilla Cricket. He's watching the IPL on TV, and he's watching the women's match on YouTube. I think that's dedication, Josie Oak. Well done. Brian in Brisbane says his internet couldn't handle that sort of traffic.
No.
I know the feeling. Kieran Roseblade's with us. It says, to be brutally honest, I think England could have done with replacing Broad and Anderson maybe 2.5 years ago. Trouble was, no one stood up to be a replacement.
Well, that's the
exactly
other. It's the other half of the equation, isn't it?
Well, there's that part, and they were both taking wickets still. I don't think you pick people on performance, don't you?
Down the track comes Tripathi. Hasn't got much of it. It just evades mid-off. He was looking to hit it obviously into the stand, but it wasn't full enough to do that, and he got a little bit lucky there, but not as lucky as the batsman in the previous over, where the Gurbaz clearly indicating to someone that it would have been out on review, which I don't know, maybe not what you want to tell anyone unless you want to just annoy them.
No, fire them up.
Maybe. Tripathi has been a bit sketchy so far, but he's on 17 off 9. He seems to have some kind of nervous tick as he faces up. Hydbd's in again. That one tails in. There's a little bit of movement in the air, if not off the pitch, and that one's played back down for no run.
See the boxing on Saturday night?
Nope.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, I lost interest in boxing a long time ago.
Yeah, generally I do, but I like to see the big fights. It was a good
They're
fight.
generally the worst ones.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of what you expect a little bit. And of course, it's being sports washed from Saudi Arabia.
Not alone in that these days.
No, absolutely not.
Cricket, one of the first, you might argue. Hydbd's in again, and that's nice in swing, but it's beautifully picked up. That's the best shot of the innings so far. Picked up over mid-wicket with the swing. Bounces, 1 bounce and 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, and it's a no ball. It's double bubble for the Sunrisers. They're going to get a free hit off this one.
Over the line! Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's the problem. Free hits, free hit, free hits, free hit,
Yeah, see, just over the line there. I don't know why they flirt so closely with the line. In T20 it really isn't the benefit that I can see.
No.
None
Right,
at all.
now he's got a bowl of free hit, which often don't go for 6, and indeed that one doesn't, because he bowls a very short, loopy ball. The batsman wants a wide, where you can review if you want.
I thought it hit his gloves. Would have been caught, except if it wouldn't
It
have been
seemed to
caught.
come through at shoulder height, yes, maybe flicked something on the way through.
I thought it caught the back of his gloves. It certainly changed direction.
Yeah, I think that you don't see as many boundaries off free hits as you used to, because I think bowlers adapt a little bit. It's a little bit different when
Yeah.
you know you can't take a wicket. Whereas I
Yeah.
think in the past people just run up and bowled the same ball, and the batsman just have a free swing. Anyway, no further damage off that no ball. A little bit of a delay before we face up to this one. Yeah, it's a very pronounced kind of tick that Abhishek has, but Tripathi has. He steps one way, then the other, which wasn't the tick. He was trying to get an angle. Ended up, bowler followed him, read what he was going to do, and followed him to the leg side, and he just shuffled it up to mid-on for a single.
Yeah, that first run out would have been out, I reckon.
So yeah, a little bit of a sketchy start for the Sunrisers. Even though Tripathi is scoring runs, he hasn't looked fully in control.
Yeah.
Klaasen is carded next. Whether they'd send him in the 5th over, I'm not sure.
If he gets going, 15 overs, I'm sure he can last 15 overs blasting it away.
That's too far onto the pads. It's clipped through square leg. They'll get at least 1. They should get back for 2, and they will. Provided the batsman doesn't allow the ball to reach the wicket before him, just in case it hits him, the big wuss. Did you see the one where Jadeja so blatantly obstructed the field? He just ran. He knew the throw was coming in behind him, so he ran right in front of the stumps.
He got given out.
He was
then,
given
didn't he?
out, yes, rightly so. Mitchell Stark 8 wickets at 22 in his last 7 games.
Maybe. See,
But he did get 4 cheap ones right at the end in one game.
if he gets to win the IPL with 3 devastating games, does that
Well,
make
that's
his
true.
price tag worth it?
It's worth it.
Maybe, but he's bowled a wide that time. He was flirting too close, in fact past that wide line outside off stump, and that'll be an extra run. So he's going to get his money's worth this over Vaibhav. It's going to be at least an 8 ball over.
Worth paying his match fee for. Gets an extra 2 balls.
Yep. 32 for 2, coming towards the end of the 4th.
Do they have the whole stadium open for this? Because it has fucking loads of people, doesn't it?
I think so.
Hold on.
Onto leg stump, played into mid wicket. It's a quick-ish single, but they'll get through comfortably enough. That's the end of the over. 33 for 2.
So Kieran Roseblade was continuing his discussion. He says it'll be a different landscape with Jimmy out of the picture. If only someone could tell Bairstow that they don't need him anymore, that'd make me a happy man. Yeah. Every time I think Bairstow shouldn't be playing, he hits about 6 tons in 6 tests. So I'm probably not one to comment on that.
Well,
He
tests can take a hike until July. So there.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about tests. You wouldn't want me talking about T20 when a test match is on.
Fair point.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see whether the form from the IPL carries through to the World Cup. The conditions are going to be so different.
A lot different, yeah. I think that's going to be a factor.
Well, I think the boundaries are going to be bigger as well, aren't they? They're going to be
They
like.
should be. They'll have no impact sub. There'll be a lot of different things to deal with. But I think mostly the wickets. We don't really know what these drop-in wickets are going to do in the USA. You'd hope they'd be okay, but
Wow, I mean, they're Australian wickets, and hopefully they'll stand up all right.
don't think they're going to play like the Wacker though.
No, I don't think they'll play on the way. They're away from Brisbane, though, aren't they?
Right.
No, they're from Adelaide.
Adelaide, okay.
Stark
Yeah.
maybe fired up after missing out on that wicket because of the non-review. It doesn't help because it's flayed over extra cover, possibly for 6.
Shot.
I think that may have reached the boundary. Nope, not quite.
Oh, that was hit that laser, didn't he?
1, 2, 3, 4.
So Nitish gets underway with his first boundary, and that's what I'm saying about the paciest bowlers. The quicker it comes, the quicker it goes.
Yeah, Adelaide's quite flat, isn't it? The Adelaide wickets.
Oh, I wouldn't call it flat. It's actually a really good test wicket. For T20, it's got something for the bowlers and something for the batters. It's a really good cricket wicket in my view.
Well, CPL's been notoriously sticky and spin heavy over the years, so let's see if they make any changes there. That one is just dropped down into the ground and it bounces up so high they can almost get through for a single before it comes back down.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, the West Indies used to be hard, fast wickets, but these days seems to be quite sticky, slow wickets.
Yeah, they used to be like a mirror. You could see the reflection of them. It was amazing.
Yeah, spinners in the West Indies used to be an endangered species.
Exactly. And now they're everywhere.
Although we are back to the over-rates of those days.
Yes. Yes.
You are not listening
Well,
to Sunil Gavaskar, Kevin Peterson and Ravi Shastri, you lucky people.
Absolutely.
Tapped into the leg side, past backward square leg, they're going to get through for a single. Danny Morrison was on the other day, and I've often had time for Danny Morrison, but he, like it always happens, he is becoming a parody of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I am not making that up. I'm not making this up. Instead of saying, the bowler says thank you, he said the bowler says thanky wanky.
What?
Yes, he actually said that.
Oh God.
So for a really thanky wanky.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, in comes Stark, and that was play down to point, and there'll be no run. Like I say, all these people who create themselves a character, you just got to take it further and further and further until you, as I say, become self-parody one way or the other. Who's a good example? Henry Blofeld, probably.
I have some excellent news for you. Brown in Brisbane says Northampton's hosting some Cricket Legends games in July. A chance for Brett Lee and others to top up their pensions. Some supplies coming to the Towers soon. Thank you so much,
marvellous.
Brian.
That would be great, thank you. There's also an over-70s World Cup in England next year, but that one's way, way up in the air. He's surely going to be out. The keeper's underneath it. He takes the catch, Gurbaz. Stark's got his wicket. It was a back of a length ball, which Tripathi, I think, tried to pull, but it wasn't short enough, and he just got a top edge. He went way straight vertically in the air, and it was an easy catch.
Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent. Top edge, for fuck's sake. Oh, no, he's out. Excellent.
And in fact, he kind of sliced it straight up into the air, Nitish. And before we have a change here, well, yes, just finish my point. For those who might be interested, there's an over-70s Cricket World Cup in England this summer. I don't think Brett Lee will be just playing just yet, but that will be something to see. I know I have played a little bit with one person who's going to be playing, Duncan Elder. A lot of people in Hertfordshire cricket will know Duncan. Okay, we got one more ball.
Yeah, Kieran Roseblade says the wickets have been, quote, matured in the USA, though, which means if USA chooses anything to go by, they will be soggy, fat and sloppy all in one.
Either that or they've been pouring whiskey all over them. Yeah. Right, new batsman. You get to play one more jingle this session.
No. Shabazz.
And as I thought, Klaassen has been held back.
Oh, now who's on? Now who's on? You'll get him out with his friend. Get him out with his friend.
And he's out as well. Well, Klaassen's going to have to come in because that one's back of a length. He's tried to run it down to third man before he's taken even a ball or two to get the pace, and it's come off the bottom of the bat. It's hit the stump. It seemed to hit the bowler's marker behind the stump, but the bail came off, and that's what mattered. The scorecard shouts, the advertising hoardings rubbing it in by shouting golden duck. And Mitchell Stark's got 3 wickets. It's gone straight onto middle stump. That's what happened, and it pulled out the sort of little circle that is attached to middle stump. Mitchell Stark's got 3 wickets. The Sunrisers Hyderabad are in disarray at 39 for 4.
He's putting a finger up to there.
What? You want squirty shit? There you go. We're joined by Ryan as well.
I'll catch you in 5 overs.
Yeah, I'll see you shortly. I know, yeah, but I won't see Messi now, will I? He's off. Yes, Ryan's joining us. Yeah, he did the rotors. You should know this shit, you know. So here we go, 39 for 4. In all sorts of trouble. Sunrisers Hydbd. KKR, top of the table, proving their point, I suppose, is what you could say. And now we've lost the feed. Skybox isn't getting a Saturday night signal.
It's
there
back.
we go. It's
There we
back.
go. Mind you, at least
there
it's
for a
not
minute.
like semi-finals. You're not, it's not terminal, a defeat today.
No, exactly that.
They get to play the winners of the eliminator, don't they? Which then effectively becomes the second semi-final.
Yep. Well, Chapati's still out there, 23 or 14. Heinrich Klassen has come out. He has been forced out of the hutch.
Harshit Rana is back into the attack, starting the ball.
Yeah, and that's defended back past the bowler, and there is no run. And we should have a jingle for the new batsman. Who has been a monster in this form of the game.
Early finish today. What do you guys think?
Early finish. Ooh, yeah, it's certainly looking that way. But I've seen a lot of games kind of like this, and in a T20, it just takes one guy to get hold of it. Could be Chapati gets a ton, and they still get a fairly decent score. A couple of people chip in. Chapati cuts that down towards third man and get himself a single.
Sadly, KKR missed the review of Tripathi, which was fairly out.
Yeah, it was. Very full, and that would have been 4 for Stark had it been in. We've just been slating Stark, sent him to IPL hell, and what did he do?
Plays a
Proves his
blinder.
worth.
Player of big matches.
Yeah, there's certainly that too. He's used to playing in big games. Doesn't faze him, I imagine. In fact, it probably spurs him on to do even better.
And here, the South African, who have been failing miserably in the big games, is in the crease.
Yeah, well, started off very well, didn't he? And no foot movement whatsoever. Just swats at that one, hits the outside edge of his back, goes over what is a slip, down third man, and it'll be 4 runs. Off the mark with a 4.
Is it just me, or are those the cheerleader dancers just like utterly discoordinated?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally just like someone's plugged them in.
Exactly. They're generally really shit and badly coordinated.
Or you know what they also like? Those like promotional big wavy like scarecrowy blow up things that you find like at car dealerships and things like that. Just
exactly. There's no attempt to sort of sync their dancing. There was a lot a couple of games ago that I commented were actually in sync, which is quite an amazing thing for IPL dancers. That one is just played out to covers and then whipped
not in the sync.
No, and there is no run.
Need some proper choreography, Bear. That's what they need.
Well, they're choreographed. They just don't do it in sync. And the choreography isn't exactly hard, is it? I mean, they kind of wave their arms and skip about. They had a break dancer the other week. It was terrible. We had a couple of dancers behind him, and they were all out of sync. It looked dreadful. I don't know what it's for. Is it just for the TV interlude?
No, it's for 4s and 6s. It's the dancing girl equivalent of jingles.
Yeah, but do we really need it? That's the question. Attempted pull by Klassen. Is it going to be given as a wide? It was very high. It does seem not.
I have not known much about the dancing, but currently the ball is dancing to the tunes of Mitchell Stark.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Oh, very, very much so. He's bowled terrifically. And they should have had an extra wicket, because we sat there watching it, Rayan and I, and I went, that's out. And then we debated,
yeah.
Was there a tiny bit of bottom edge? But there wasn't. I mean, it was how they didn't review it is beyond me. It was just.
I think they thought there was bottom edge.
The bowler and the keeper were interested, but the skipper said it's bad first.
What was the skipper now, huh? Klassen facing up. He guides that one down past short third man to a sort of deeper set third man backward point. And it'll just be the 1 run. Ends the 6th over, 45 for 4.
End of the power play?
Yeah, that's not a great power play. It's well below the average, which I think is about 50 something.
They got the runs, but they lost too many wickets.
Yeah, you lose more than 3 in a power play, and that's it. Game over.
Pirate Badshah, dare I ask? And I think the discussion here is about the wickets in the USA being matured and then sort of sent over. We've had that chat before, haven't we? How they get them over there. Dare I ask, says Pirate Badshah, are these American wickets deployed from a can in the same way as their cheese? Well, hopefully with a bit more flavour. Kieran Roseblade says, In Sync sounds like a terrible Justin Timberlake tribute band.
Okay. Wow. Yes, it would be.
Brian in Brisbane says, isn't Gary the only gorilla qualified to comment on artistic qualities? Ooh, possibly. I mean, anyone can have an opinion on it. Gary, more than most, he has an opinion on literally everything.
When it comes to the arts, he has. It's quite a learned opinion. I'll give him that.
Oh yes.
He certainly reads a lot and watches fucking endless amounts of theatre and musicals and God knows what else and films.
GC Radio Naked Fun Pornbot has sent a picture of a bear. Man or bear. Many women say they'd rather be. What is it? Hold on.
A bear.
I need to see what the picture caption says. So carry on.
Sunil, the mystery Narayan. Going to the attack.
Oh yeah, for a single it is. It's mystery Sunil Narayan, who I don't know how he gets wickets.
Please don't malign Sunil Narayan.
Would you give Stark another over if you are a skipper?
How much he had? 2 or 3? That's.
He bowled 3.
He bowled 3. Probably keep him for the end.
Okay.
That was again tried to be a late cut. Got a single off it. It was quite fine, but nothing more.
Apparently, many women would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear than another man. Than a man.
Yes. This came up on social media a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. It was from the Naked Fun Pornbot.
He's bowling nicely, bringing the length back.
Yeah, that was just.
But still not get much of tan.
No, he never gets much turn. Just bring back to him, hit back to him. Sorry, by Clarkson. Filled like he's only bowling, no run.
Oh.
It's a little bit of a way turn.
Yeah, it looked like a carom ball.
Well,
or a dusra.
You give him too much credit. Played out to long off for a single.
What the wickets did was, Sunrisers batsmen are not wanting to score big runs right now.
No.
They just want to protect their wicket, which is a good sign for KKR.
Exactly, it keeps the score down, doesn't it? Narayan is in again. That one hurries on to the pads of Tripathi, works it into the leg side. They want 2, but they're not going to get it. It's just a single.
Interestingly, Sunrisers won the toss and after to bat, which now the skipper thought that's a bad decision right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look such a wise decision, does it? But that's often the case in hindsight and all that, you know.
Yeah.
And small totals are always easier to chase. That one is played back to the bowler. Tries to drag it onto the stumps, doesn't make it onto the stumps. In fact, he drags it further down towards long off and it'll be a single.
Another quiet over for Sunrisers. So
which is what they need.
50 for 4 after 7.
We've roused the Pornbot as opposed to aroused the Pornbot. I mean, he's possibly, or she is possibly permanently aroused. It was he or she who posited the question, would you rather be trapped in the woods with a man, a bear, or a man who is a bear? And then for some reason he'd specifically asked me that question. Don't ask me why. Then there's something about Nigel Farage and a free hit at the Sugar and Spice S&M parlour. So I don't know.
Free hit with a sharp implement, I hope.
Don't know what's going on there. Let me have a look at YouTube. I saw somebody earlier criticising our looks on YouTube. I thought it was very harsh. I mean, I need to say it wasn't this 3, who of course are eye candy in extreme.
Oh yeah. Dream boats.
Dream boats. Oh, yeah, the nightmare boats.
Yeah. Clarkson is going to face up to Harshit. He's bowling his second over, went for 6 in his first. Sunrise are 50 for 4. Tripathi's 26. Facing up, it's pulled. Reasonable timing, out towards long on. Pulled around, a lot of bottom hand. One outside is off stump. Sorry, that's Clarkson.
Yeah.
And it was a single.
So, what will be the better score to defend in this pitch? What do you think with this kind of situation?
I think when it gets down to games that's something on, I think the score drops to a little bit because there's something, like in a group game, you're either playing for something, or you could have easily got there, in which case it's meaningless. And the same if you're not actually going to win anything. That one is guided down towards third man. I get a single. I think if you put something on the game, it can drag the score back down. You can apply some pressure. I think they don't want to get less than 170, 180.
Yeah.
175 is the average first inning score in the 6 games of this tournament.
I mean, that's
this
10.
Year.
That's 10 and over from here, pretty much.
Yeah. If they score 175, they'll be very happy.
Yeah. But when you only got 6 wickets left, it does become tricky. However,
So maybe they can bring in another batter as an impact sub. They have.
You don't really want to do that, do you? You're batting first. The whole point is you bring in the extra bowler. That's the whole, he's your free pick, isn't he? I mean, you might have to. If you're forced to, that's something for the opposition, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's hit square, behind square. Hard by Klassen. They get himself a single.
I think the ball is stopping a little bit and come very slow to the bat right now. Because they bowl a back of length deliveries and the batsmen are just find hard to time the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's hard to find the gaps, and they don't particularly want to go too aerial, do they? Because they don't want to give it away. So they're trying to play reasonable, sensible shots. There's no. Oh, mind you, he pokes at that one. There's Tripathi. It's been given as a wide.
So it's a wide.
Bowler not happy about it. Is he going to review it?
They don't want to.
No, in the World Cup, is there going to be 2 reviews? Can you review wides in the World Cup? I don't think you can you?
I don't think so.
If you look at the last 10 games, the average power play score in the first innings 57.6.
They were quite off.
So they were about 12 below that, weren't they?
Yeah. They're not even there now. Oh, 54.
Bowling shot again, but he
gets an uppercut. I think he's uppercut for 6.
6.
Jeez, over the top of the slips. Just dropped over the boundary. I think it's the first of the day, this actually. From Tripathi.
Tripathi, the senior batter, just kept the runs going.
I think I went under again, didn't I? Where did I go under? It doesn't tell me. Live match. Oh. Yeah, it's weird.
He nicely uses the speed of the ball to cut for the 6.
Yeah. That one is just played out
on.
to point for a single. One ball left in the over.
Sensible batting.
Yeah.
6 and a single.
How was that off the over? 10 off the over. This is what they need to get to 170.
They have Abdul Samad and Pat Cummins in the dugout. So they will be hoping to get 170.
Well, these two need to pretty much get them there.
Yeah.
Actually, they're certainly capable of getting beyond that. Rana is in to bowl slow ball, and it's played up towards long on. It's a single.
62 for 4 after 8.
Aye, over to you, Tone.
It's time for the timeout.
Oh, is it?
God, fucking timeout.
Brian in Brisbane, we were talking about dream boats. We were saying dream boats versus shipwrecks. Okay, Kieran Roseblade says you look more like the lineup of 3 things that female bears don't want to be trapped with in the woods. Well, that's hard. Well, mind you, what have the female bears gone into the woods to do? And would you want to be troubling them while they were doing it?
No.
Let's be honest. Right. Other than that, I think we are reasonably well up to date. Tell you what, I was sitting still heavily in my stomach was the amazing gulab jamun sandwich that Rayan kindly bought him.
Yeah, they were very good. weren't they?
Absolutely fabulous. That was so. I mean, very sticky and very
Sugary.
very sweet.
Yeah. That's
But just unbelievably delicious.
thank you so much for that. That's my favorite sweet. And back in India, we make for the festivals.
Ah, yes. No, that it had a sort of a celebratory taste to it. I thought, you'd have it for a special occasion, not every day. If you ate them every day,
I will.
you'd be the ultimate sort of Billy
yeah,
Bunter.
yeah.
Not, I suppose he was particularly ever big in India. I mean, he was big.
Yeah.
If you get my meaning.
But right now, Pat Cummins doesn't feel sweeter after.
Oh, very good, very good. Mitchell Stark though today. I mean, what a big game, big performance.
And
He was stung by the criticism earlier that he wasn't justifying his price tag.
And he brought his lady luck with him.
Yep.
Maybe that's the reason.
I
But he
mean,
was
yeah,
really
he's not
getting
he's
it
not had a
to
great
loop.
tournament, but I don't think that really bothers him that much, to be honest. He knows he's going to get picked for Australia.
Yeah.
He knows he's a good bowler.
And did we talk about the surface much? So all the discussion at Ahmedabad is it going to be red soil? Is it going to be black soil? And I find out that today it's apparently mixed.
Yeah, they've got a couple of mixed wickets. They were doing wasn't the test match on.
Well, that's
mixed
like you
wicket?
can't make up your mind as to which
Well,
characteristic
no,
you want.
what is
Slow
it?
and low, loads of bounce. What is it you're after?
Well, no, I guess doesn't one of them turn sharply and one of them doesn't do anything?
I
And
think
guess
it's the red that turns.
Well, there you go. So they're probably trying to get something that turns less and does less for the bowlers, but isn't slow and low, which is what the other one is. So, trying to mix it up.
Yeah.
I mean, the way things are going in this tournament and cricket generally, you might as well ask bowlers to bowl in diving boots or wear wicket-keeping gloves or
Just
something
get
like that,
bowling
just to
machines.
handicap them,
Just get
just to
bowling
give the
machines.
batsman more chance. Oh, there's our friend Fraser McGurk.
Yeah.
Travelling reserve for Australia.
Well, yeah, he's got travelling reserve now, hasn't he? So,
Sunil Narayan back into the attack. KKR is yet to give Varun Chakravarti a over.
someone will do a escape to victory on Davey Warner. McGurk will get into the side. The Ryan is in to Henrik Klassen, who just goes on the back foot, punches it up to long on. He gets himself a single.
He's not giving width to the batter. He bowls into the body.
No, yeah, he bowls very straight, very tight to
Yeah.
the stumps. That's one thing he does do. Doesn't give it any width. There's Jay. Is that Jay Shah?
Jay Shaw and Roger Binney, the World Cup winning player.
Roger Binney?
Yeah.
Stuart Binney's dad?
Yeah. He's a chairman of BCCI.
Oh, Jesus, that would have been out. That would have been plum. Chapati goes down and just does a little dill scoop over the top of the keeper and gets himself 4 runs for it. Pretty lucky though.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
It's a good shot. Don't want to be missing those though. Chapati facing up 67 for 4. Oh look, we got a package, beers and stuff.
Oh wow!
He swiped to the deep square leg for a single.
Yep.
Ball into full.
Was that a delivery or did Andy go out and collect? I'm
No,
suspecting.
it's a delivery.
It can only be from one place, I'm
Exactly.
guessing. What a prince among men and what a gent. Thank you. I'm assuming Brian in Brisbane, but if it was, thank you, Brian, as ever.
Narayan is in on back foot again. Klassen punches that up too long off and there's no run. Oh, no, it's 1 run. Sorry, they come back
They
for
steal
2.
a double.
No, they're a double, in fact. Yeah, I used to do a show with Stuart Binney's wife,
Mayanti Lanka.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
They used to get. Well, this is way back. When was that? 2018. When India were over here. I kept doing sort of highlights, bits and bobs for them. That one's straight up in the air. That could be out. Is anyone out there?
Oh,
no.
He has a rope.
What the fuck? No way. That's bollocks. That's 6. That's outrageous. He's completely got underneath that. That should be out. It's only just. It's probably gone about 5-10 feet over the boundary.
You see, look.
That's outrageous. He's got right underneath that. Anywhere else in the world, that would be out. But no! It's the IPL, so it's 6 runs. I'm not that losing me a run, losing me a bet, I think. Hit by Clausen. That's a better shot.
Oh, it went for 4.
It did. It was wide of Andre Russell, sprawling across from long off. He's pretty straight, and that was pretty wide.
18 runs in Sunil Narayan's second over.
Yes, 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think in the timeout they had a tag with the captain and the coach. How much they want in the board. After the timeout, they started attacking.
Yeah, well, you know, someone like Heine Clausen, he's faced 15 balls now. He'll consider himself in, and he'll back himself. Japati's 39 off 23. He's going some. This is it. What's what I'm saying? 1 or 2 players get big scores, and suddenly
You were right.
80 for 4. Still, you know, these two could. I mean, if Heine Clausen gets going, he can score 140 balls. You know.
He can take
suddenly
away.
You're up to 240, 250 even, you know. Japati's capable of it as well.
Question for you, Bear. First of all, though, Brian in Brisbane says Towers doorbell going soon, so it was indeed beer delivery from him. Thank you. Focus AI with Ashish says, hi, Nigel.
Ah, yes, that's Ashish. He's the man who's giving me my lessons on APIs.
Oh, do you think SRH has a chance in a low-scoring match, as they do have great bowlers like Pat Cummins and Bhuvi Kumar?
Yeah, I also think that. Well, I think, as I was saying, I think in a match that means something, sometimes people tighten up. Less so than in group games where you know you're always going to get another chance, or you're out, or you know you're through already. So if they can post anything that's above sort of 8, 9 and over, you've got a chance of dragging the other person back. Dre Russ is into the attack, and he is clipped up to long on. He'll get himself a single.
Does he have a jingle? And is the GPL going today?
The GPL is going, and it's probably shut, actually, because we didn't mention it.
That's what I thought.
In fact, it is, and it was. Apparently we're doing Pakistan tomorrow, not the other. I put up the other IPL game.
No, we're doing the Pakistan game.
Okay. I don't even know what's going on, to be honest.
You don't need to. You just need to be here.
Well, that's generally what I consider to be the case. What was I doing? I was going to play a jingle for Dre Russ after his next ball, which is short, wide, uppercut, and it into the crowd for 6 runs. That's outrageous.
Oh, it's a boundary.
And the bowler is.
If Andre Russell's in your hedgerow, to be alarmed now. He's just the DJ for the after show.
I don't know what the thought process behind bringing Andre Russell into the attack when they have Varun Chakravarti. He's yet to bowl his first over.
Yeah, trying to be too clever for own good, maybe. 85 for 4, they've dragged it back all of a sudden. That's cut hard at 1 bounce out to man at point. And that will just be a single. Yeah, it's dangerous now. Now you'd say, they need to get a wicket.
Yeah. Varun Chakravarti is a pick of the bowler for KKR. He picked 16 wickets in the season and leading wicket taker for KKR.
Well, there you go. That's what I should do then. Now the question is, what is the line? Andre Russell. Uppercut?
Not that.
Again, over the keeper. And that would be 4 more.
See, if you're approaching 100 after 10, then
you're on good.
Then you're in.
That's what I mean.
It's the 4 wickets that are the problem.
It is. Right. So the line now is 193.5. Over 193.5. Under 193.5. What do you reckon?
I think over at the moment. I'd be quite brave.
Yeah, I'd be quite brave to go over.
A lot depends on Klassen.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he's on for one. I just missed it. Maybe a wicket's just happened.
With that 4, their partnership come to 50.
No
one in the circle.
Oh, he's gone to pull it. He's landed it safe as Chapati. I thought he was going to get caught. But of course, there's no one at fucking mid-wicket, is there? Because it's a T20 and they're all out on the boundary. And it's just plopped onto the man who had been on the edge of the circle. That would have been the simplest of simple catches at mid-wicket. But no.
I can only guess Warren must be watching us on YouTube. He wants to know how fresh your socks are. And well, I can tell you, Warren, I've got a very acute sense of smell, and nothing.
They're fresh. They're fresh on today. How old are they? About 10 years old.
I have experienced worse odours, so let's just put it that way. Sat next to the bear.
That one is played up to long. It'll be a single. Oh, I think I just went under actually. Did I just go under instead of over? That was a bit foolish. Oh well. Maybe it'll turn out to be very lucky. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, is that the end of the over?
It is.
Okay.
Was it?
Yeah.
Kieran Roseblade for you Messers is next up on YouTube, and we're up to date on Twitter.
Andy is going to come in. Messers is going to come in. Ajit is supposed to be here, but he's not.
Kieran says SRH have started going hard already. If they keep this going, it'll be a big score. Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about wickets at the moment, isn't it? 200 is very much within their wheelhouse if they can sustain previous performances. But 4 wickets is quite a lot to have lost.
But I guess since the other two have run off, I guess I'll sit here with you until Ajit turns up now.
Well, even if they don't actually employ him, the Sunrisers have that impact sub in their back pocket. They know they could bring an extra batter in, and that might just help these batters a little, or have helped these batters a little bit. They're quite set now. Klaassen tips that one out to deep mid-wicket, and there's just a single. But yeah, good recovery. Oh, and a no ball. Oh, it's all going wrong for KKR.
Oh, I know he just went
The
under when I went to go over.
bowls a no ball.
That is wrong.
Over the line! Huh? I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line. That's a foul.
Clearly over the line as well. There's daylight between his heel and the front of that line. So, he comes in again. The free hit he gets away with because he bowls a perfect Yorker. And the batsman didn't really do anything with it. Just played it straight back to him.
This is his first over, isn't it? Yeah.
Chakravarti, yep.
So we should try and find... Here we go. A jingle for him.
Varun Chakravarti, Varun Chakravarti, Varun Chakravarti, Varun Chakravarti, Varun Chakravarti.
And Tripathi just sits back and waits for that to turn into him just a little bit. Punches it out to deep point for another single. And many thanks to Brian, who delivered us beer and food. Very nice. I felt bad because I couldn't tip the guy, because who carries any pound coins anymore?
Yeah, well, I don't tip people who fucking deliver me shit. It's their job, man.
Well, I don't ever
but
get
the gig
people...
economy means that those people get paid bugger all. That's the thing.
I don't ever get anything delivered. I'm quite fortunate in that, I've got a lot of the places around me, so I only have to go outside my door, but I think it's a bit... I mean, it's understandable for Brian not to deliver himself from Brisbane. I think that's
he's
fair
not in
enough.
Brisbane anyway. I think he's in Northampton. But
either way, yes.
Either way, it's true. No, I never tip people who come to my door.
Ugh. They know where you live.
Yeah.
Do you tip cabbies, Bear?
No.
Ooh, you'll get in trouble. Oh, that one's a reverse swept by Tripathi in front of point. It goes for 4. He's got 50. He doesn't need any tips.
Okay, so it's one of these, and then
1, 2, 3,
It's
4.
50, and you know that can't be bad. Yeah, it's 50, and you know you should be glad.
I'm a bit Mr. Pink when it comes to tipping.
Yeah, I know, but there's one thing for advocating change and saying, make sure they're paid properly instead, but the fact is they're not.
Yeah, but no one else is either. I mean,
I'm surprised you don't get beaten up for not tipping cabbies.
Yeah.
Well, no, because most of the time you do it on fucking Uber, and it just takes the money out of your account anyway.
Doesn't he give you a bad review though, and so other Uber drivers don't pick you up because they're not going to get a tip?
I hardly ever use it.
Played out to mid-wicket for a single. 101 for 4. The one time I went into Burger King near my flat was in the very first night, and I had nothing to eat in the house, so I got a vegan burger, and I had to fight my way to the counter through delivery drivers in motorbike helmets.
Yeah, they're fucking all there, man.
Well, it's not their fault. It's all the people
No,
too lazy to go down themselves. That's high into the outfield. It's going to be caught. Rashid looks like Rashid Khan, but he's not playing.
Yeah, he does look. I keep thinking it's Rashid Khan. Of course, it isn't.
And if only he had been at mid-wicket, that would have been 4.
Well, yes. Well, What? Oh, look,
Ajit's
Ajit's
here.
finally turned up.
Yep.
So you're going to have to jump into my chair.
Okay, well that was Klaassen, 32 off 21. He'd be a little bit disappointed. He tried to pick that one up, but maybe turned a little bit more than he thought inside half of the bat, and he was caught just inside the boundary. I think that was Vaibhav. Two fielders almost colliding, but the other one pulled out just in time. No, in fact, it was Rinku Singh with the catch.
He did very much do a Rashid type celebration though, didn't he, holding his arms out like that?
Yeah, he's got similar stature, similar height, similar haircut. Anyway, I'll give him a jingle and we'll do a switch of chairs.
Okie dokie.
You'll be pleased to know that Brian in Brisbane says, don't you worry, Andy, I tipped him a quid. There should have been some vegan snacks for you. Couldn't find vegan beer at that shop. Oh, Andy didn't hear of that. Andy,
No, I did. Yeah, I just caught that. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Because you say, like, if for some reason I did need something delivered, I'd make sure to have something on hand. But I don't have my pockets loaded with pound coins. I'm a bit like the Queen now. Hardly carry any cash.
Well, you're a bit more alive than the Queen's, yeah, anything. I'm pleased to say.
Right. Well,
hello, Ajit.
Hi, Ajit. First order of business is we've got a new batsman for Hydbd done. Let me just plug him up.
I would like to also apologize for being a little late.
Not to worry.
Meeting at work overran.
Abdul Samad is a new batsman, and they rather carelessly allowed to get through for a single. I think they thought Narayan was just going to run across and pick that up.
Correct.
He seemed to let
he
it.
did. He was chasing the ball. He never picked it up. That's all.
And
he was running next to it, per se.
Sneaked through for a clever single. The Sunrisers still have the option to bring in an extra batsman, which they might take, I think, if they lose another wicket quickly.
I think they will in any case, because look, the run rate is now a bit healthy based on this partnership between Klaassen and Tripathi, but Tripathi ski.
Oh, big hit from Samad. It's gone into the outfield. Has it gone far enough? You bet it has. Yeah. That's no respect for Sunil Narayan.
I believe in miracles since you came to bat.
And that was his first ball, Abdul Samad. That's playing with no fear.
Well, he's come in with some form and some, I think, let's just say he's in good touch, because he took it on the up. He trusted the bounce off the pitch as well. I think he's been watching replays carefully then, while sitting.
Well, is he going to get the legendary 6 off 2? We'll see. No, he's not. He plays that one into the leg side.
Hello.
Short mid wicket is round, and there's no run.
He has 6 off 2, but he stays there. So
yes.
Maybe he'll add to it. Let's say it doesn't become 6 off more. But for now, I mean, that's the way they'll go. Look, if you look at their score, I think anything short of 185 is even 200 probably. Is very tough to defend.
Yep, but he is such a clever customer, Narayan. He just holds that one back a little bit, and Samad couldn't even knock that for a single either. Plays that also to short mid wicket.
But you know, they've targeted him a bit here. In his third over, he's gone for 30.
Yep. Tipped into the leg side that time. He gets the angle on it, and they'll get through for a single.
Not a bad way, but I think Chakravarti, on the other hand, has done a good job. So, you know, he's just started bowling. He's taken a wicket of his very first over. And you'll have the likes of probably Chakravarti running the rest of the middle overs until the over 16 or so. And then by then, either likes of Russell, Vaibhav Arora and Mitchell Stark will take over back again.
Yep. That one again just holds that length back very cleverly, Narayan. He went for a 6 in that over, but only 9 in total. That one's played up to long on off the back foot. It's 110 for 5 off 12.
Kieran says, what an inspired misbet by Bear. With Klaassen out below 197 looks likely, nah?
Well, let's see. It's been an innings of just two innings. In the whole innings of Sunrisers is just 2 people batting. The rest are all single digits with 2 ducks. You would be a bit disappointed if you opened the score now, if you're a fan of SRH.
Yes, but you'd also be a bit disappointed if you were KKR and you went out for a walk at 37 for 4. That's going to be a wide from Chakravarti. Turned a bit too far down the leg side. But yeah, Mitchell Stark doing the damage. We got Travis Head out second ball.
Wow.
And he got
splattered his stumps all over. Good
yep,
cards.
he got 2
and
more
Rinku
wickets.
Singh very much looks like Rashid. Yeah,
he
mini
does.
Rashid.
But I should know better that Rashid Khan doesn't actually play for this team.
He plays for GT. All right. And probably is back on national duty by now, right?
I would think
he's also the captain of the T20 team, which is going to the World Cup.
Yep, I would think he's back with Afghanistan by now.
This is a very crucial wicket, I thought. Nah? I mean, Rinku Singh, very calm there to pouch that with another guy running into his eye line.
Full pelt straight at him, yes.
That looked a bit scary. But, I mean, another 5 hours of class and probably the run rate would have been 12. So, well, they've done well, KKR.
Down the track, and Chakravarti rather got away with one because it was full, but it may have just drifted away in the air. I think he got an outside edge.
It drifted and dipped on him, I think.
Yeah,
so he got a nick to shot third man. There was no run.
Yep. 112 for 5.
This is all right. I mean, it's sort of back in balance. I was worried by the time I start commentating. Maybe it's like 66 for 6 or something, and not a lot left to talk. But this is going to be a cracker. I mean, one shot at the title if you win this, right? So.
Yep, I still like KKR at this point in time, but T20 can change very quickly. That one is clipped into the leg side, and they'll amble through for a single.
And they have their own, mystery bowler, Sri Lankan Vayaskant. So he's sort of little bit of an unknown quantity. He's a leg break bowler, but he has very good control, and the ball doesn't turn much. So you'll probably have to play him like Chakravarti.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
They're almost like medium pacers, some of these spinners.
Ball to 100 kph, I think, mostly.
Yeah.
And that gives you less time. You're sort of shaping up to play a spinner in your head, but the ball comes on.
That was a bit quick from Chakravarti as well, and it's played down to backward point, and there'll be no run.
There you go. I mean, he'll take this 10 balls, 12 runs conceded. Tripathi sees the funny side of things, but he probably also realizes he needs to carry on until the 17th, 18th over. You know, if you look at the rest of the batting left, there's only Cummins and Bhuvneshwar Kumar to come. I don't count the rest.
Unless they sub a batsman in, yeah.
They will now, probably.
Yeah.
Driven past the bowler, up to long off. Russell with the fielding. They should get through for a single.
My question was going to be, who would you sub out? Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head?
Oh, I don't think that's a big deal. You just pick your worst fielder from the people who've already batted and aren't bowling.
Those both are okay, I think. And Nitish Kumar Reddy bowls a few overs. You would normally sub out Rahul Tripathi, but he's still at the crease, so he's doing well.
Yeah, he definitely don't sub him out. He's on 55 not out. Clubs that one out into the leg side. It's in the gap, but Mitchell Stark gets across and pats the ball down. But he
just one. Good fielding there, big guy.
Yeah, good. Well, they did well to pick that up and whiz it in. 115 for 3 off 13. Are they signalling another timeout? Yes, they are.
Aha. Oh, so you point to your watch, I see.
Social media is quiet. I was going to ask you both how much impact you think the loss of Phil Salt might have on KKR's batting.
Huge one. I mean, that balance that they have at the top of the order is sort of disturbed now. Right? So for me, he was as crucial as Sunil Narayan in that run that KKR had to the top spot.
Well, anything can happen.
At least with the bat. Yeah.
Anything can happen. We saw Travis Head, get out for naught, and maybe Gurbaz will hit some runs, but percentage-wise, it is a downgrade, yes.
I mean, Gurbaz is himself, as you say, he's as destructive as anybody else, but I think people have found a way to work him out. He's a big, beefy guy, and he doesn't use his feet much. Phil Salt is slightly more articulated for a big hitting keeper, so to say. Also, if you talk of Tripathi, the way he's grabbed the chance, he's like a super sub at the end of the tournament, and he's doing the work for.
Well, he is. He'd only scored 60 runs in the tournament up to today, and he's on course to double that in one innings. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, he's doing well. Also, if you look at some of the other talking points, I was a bit surprised that they chose to send in Shahbaz Ahmed ahead of Abdul Samad. Abdul Samad was I think penciled in to go in at that point in time ahead of Henrik Larsson. You want to keep Henrik Larsson to as maybe close to the end as possible, maybe 12th or 13th over. Then Yunis, probably they think they have 2 hitters that they need. Shahbaz Ahmed was promoted. That I didn't understand. Well, it didn't matter much.
It was a bit of a sacrificial lamb, yeah.
You wanted RR did with Ashwin occasionally in the tournament. I think that was that sort of a move where can you hold on for 4 or 5 overs, score at 120 kph, we'll take it. 120 strike rate, we'll take it. Something like this. But yeah, I mean, they're top out of, let's say, the Travis Sheikh, and then Nitish Kumar Reddy also has had a very good tournament. He's sort of tapering off with the bat. It'll be a bit worrisome if you're SRH.
Well, they only have to win one of 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
Or
I mean, it depends. You'll need to win 2 at least to take the tournament from here, right? But otherwise it'll be 3.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Lose
Of
this
course,
one.
of course you do, yes. Yeah.
You'll have to win the next 2. And then,
Yes.
I mean, it's all knockout. But now if you lose, you have a chance. Next one you lose, well, bye-bye.
Yep.
The
By the
other
way-
thing I was a bit surprised by, Andy, when you were talking about IPL Hell, that nobody actually mentioned Glenn Maxwell, who's averaging 6.5.
He's chipped in with the ball. Chipped in with the ball, though. I think that's what saved him.
yeah.
That's what saved him on my account. But he
Nobody
certainly hasn't
understands.
scored a run. No.
I mean, nobody understands him, not even himself, I think, very clearly. You need a certain special sort of a talk with him, I think, before the tournament and the matches. Or he just simply doesn't switch on because it's holiday for him.
Plus he was left out for injury or illness, and then
he asked to be dropped, actually.
Really? Oh, well, Will Jack certainly took the chance, so he ended up not playing many games. Down the track now, Samada.
Wow.
And that's gone a long way away, again, over mid-wicket, into the crowd. No respect for Sunil Narayan. It's another 6.
Yep. You know, all that good bowling from Chakravarti and they undo it in 1 ball. And the run rate jumps back to above 9. Look, if you enter the last 4 overs, even above 9 an over, you'll fancy getting to 200. And that's, I think, a minimum from here. It's a big ground, by the way. A lot of running can happen. So, I said reasonable 6, 84 meters.
Narayan about to come in and the batsman pulled away. I think I made a pretty smart move today. My picks for IPL Heaven and Hell aren't playing in this game. The other guys' picks have both gone the other way. There's a terrible run out. A terrible run out. I don't know exactly what happened, but one batsman was at the bowler's end and one batsman was standing in the middle of the pitch as the throw buzzed in from Andre Russell to the keeper's end, and I think Tripathi has been run out. Now that's...
He has.
There's
reminiscent...
a silly Muppet-related jingle. That's what is called for here.
Yeah.
And I can give you my views shortly.
Well, when we see exactly what happened, because the camera went to the fielder, we came back to the wicket, and as I say, no one was where they should be. Let's have a look at it now before that. It was cut down.
No, Ray Russ manufactured a wicket, basically. Simply because of how he fielded.
He did, and then the striker set off, thinking it would be a straightforward run. The non-striker got halfway down, and then the crucial thing was he stopped. He didn't appear...
No, it was a bit of a mix-up. So very clearly, Abdul Samad ran immediately the moment.
Yes, he just ran on the shot, and Tripathi, well, he
was ball watching.
He who
and
hesitates.
Rightly so, he should have gotten back as the more experienced batter, the more crucial batter at this point in time. It looked weird when he tried to take the run. He should have just gone back.
He shouldn't have stopped running once the other
Also
batter
that.
reached him.
Yeah.
I mean, once the other batter reaches you, you've got to just go hell for leather.
Oh, how tragic. How tragic, how tragic, how tragic.
Well, it was a bit like that RCB and CSK game yesterday where Dubey
he's sitting on the steps with his head in his hands.
Dubey sent Ravindra down the river. And that was much worse because Dubey was batting like an absolute drain and Ravindra was the set batsman.
Yeah,
I think that really turned that game. So after that's happened, Hyderabad have, perhaps not surprisingly, sent in the batting sub. Let's see if we
Sanmeer.
can... Yeah.
No, they had to. It's too early to lose such a crucial wicket. You still have a good...
So that is presumably just going to affect their bowling. They're not going to have the bowling lineup that they would have wanted.
They'll not have much of a problem. I want to see who's taken out. I'm sure it's Savishead or Abhishek. So,
like I said,
it
is Abhishek, in fact. Yeah, he can.
Has to be one of those two because their bowling lineup will not be changing much.
He can have a sit down for the rest of the game,
and he can bowl himself. Huh?
Yes, that's what I'm going to say. Sanveer can bowl a bit as well. Yeah.
No, but it's crucial now. They don't lose another wicket, but keep the run rate going until another 3 overs more.
Oh well, they did because Narayan has just done his thing, what looked like a perfectly straight, slightly full ball. Sanveer has played all around it, and not for the first time in this tournament, the impact sub has got a golden duck.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at? Oh!
That would have suited the previous dismissal better, but we'll take it. Nonetheless,
Can they sub
Let
the
me
sub?
show you something on this dismissal, by the way. It drifted in like a leg break. It pitched and kept coming in like a off break afterwards. So it's a wonderful ball, by the way.
It's very subtle, yes.
Very subtle. So if you are reading the ball from the wrist, you are going to play it like a leg break. That's why there was a gap created between bat and pad, and the ball took the pad and hit the stumps. So this is excellent bowling. You have to give credit to Sunil Narayan. And he's dragged himself back all of a sudden into the limelight.
Just going to say he was taking a bit of stick, but you just can't keep him out of the game. Anyway, speaking of men who just can't keep out of the game, it's the Sunrisers captain to try and do a captain's innings here.
I think we should have had sex with it.
All right.
Okay, I lost the rest of that somehow.
All right, because what I heard sounded like
yeah, I think that one is a bit rude, that one.
All right.
Cummins gets the same ball, manages to drop a bat on it out to square. They're going to come back for 2, and they are going to get there, especially with a terrible throw.
He has his
just looking at the
stats.
stats, that was Samvir's 4th game in this IPL, his first dismissal. He's got 6 not out, 8 not out, did not bat, and he hasn't bowled a ball.
All right, thanks for coming.
A huge tournament. Yeah.
Get the thanks for coming award. Ready?
Well, of course, he only gets one of those wickets, Narayan, because the other one was a run out, but it was a absolutely pivotal 2 wickets in 2 balls.
It was Dreras.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You cannot think somebody who's 6'4". Go on.
And is a bit older, can have that agility. Cummins just defends that one back to the bowler.
Wow, we see a replay of that ball. I mean, I can't help but, feel sorry for that guy. He couldn't have done much with that. It drifted in, pitched, held its line and kept continuing.
That's the one that goes the other way, and Cummins jabs at it, misses it. So Narayan has, he's got 1 ball. No, he is finished. 1 for 40. It's not that exceptional figures, but it was a great comeback in that last over. 1 wicket for him, 1 for the run out, and the Sunrisers are in trouble again at 123 for 7.
Indeed they are. Is Guerrilla Cricket covering selected games of the World Cup, says Graham Caldwell? Indeed we are. We're going to cover a substantial proportion of them, depending on the time of day and the crew that we can get together. But most of the games, certainly all the England games and almost certainly all the Australian games and probably most major nation games.
India games I think we should be able to do, yeah. So keep an eye on our Twitter account if you want to see what we're doing when.
Yep. We'll send out something when we know, and to our Patreons as well, of course.
So, wow. What is with the psychedelic displays on the ground? I don't know. On the display board, I didn't catch all of it.
Tremendous light shows they have. I think we've had quite a lot of rain in the last week, but basically they're just entertaining people with these light shows.
If you're KKR, you're probably very happy. Those 2 wickets really tilted the balance back and well into your side. But if you are SRH, what would you be targeting? Now, what would be a revised target? Would you take 165?
6 overs to go. I think I'd be looking at a bit higher than that. It's Samad, isn't it? He could be boom or bust from here. I mean, does he try and bat it out, or does he keep swinging?
I think he'll keep swinging.
I think he probably will.
Sort of hold.
And then if he gets out the rest of the way, he has a swing at that one, back of a length, but it's a bit too quick from Harshit, and it flashes through to the keeper for no run.
I'm not sure that I'd want Pat Cummins to try and hold, because he can hit the ball incredibly hard. Didn't he have a really quick 50 in the last IPL, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And I think 2 IPLs ago, but doesn't matter. You're right.
Gurbaz damn nearly threw at the wrong end, and he just managed to see that actually there was no one anywhere near him, and he could just take the bails off.
When you look at that replay, I think Tripathi also deserves a bit of the blame, because actually Samad looked at him to see, shall we run? Tripathi first said let's go, and then he thought I shouldn't go. That was his own fault, I dare say. But anyway,
honestly, most run-outs, there's always a little bit of blame, at least to both parties. That one's dropped out the deep point for a single.
They said about Compton, I'll repeat it about Inzamam, Mohammad Yusuf. First, a call of yes is only room for further negotiation and so on. But yeah,
yes,
all right. Yes. And my teammates tell me I'm like that, but yeah.
I've been run out a few times, yeah, and caused the odd one. And there is a video on YouTube called Inzamam's 23 funniest run-outs, which is just a funny way of putting it.
That's a bit deep. All right, now coming back to this one, Harshit will probably look to 2 over spell. He started well.
follows the batsman there as Cummins steps away, and he ends up just boinking it up to long on. They'll take a single.
He looks a little like a proper tailender here, Cummins. He doesn't know what he's doing
He
yet.
can look awkward, but then as Jez says, he can be very effective if he opens his shoulders.
If he survives beyond the 2 or 3 over mark, watch out. If he gets to 10 balls, watch out.
Possibly. I always think if that's your plan, you might as well do it now. Honestly, I think one of these batsmen, probably Samad, should keep trying to hit boundaries. And maybe Cummins takes that role if Samad gets out. Maybe something like that.
Well, I think it's the other way around. But okay, same difference. Let's see
whichever one. Yeah, down the track it's is Samad who's going to scoop that one over cover. No, he's not. He's going to he didn't get his angles right. I didn't get my angles right. In fact, it went straight to Shreyas Iyer at the long off. So that's a bit of a disappointment for Samad. It may have gone for 6 if there was no one there, but that's not how it works. He was just able to reach around Shreyas Iyer and pick that one up just inside the rope. So that's another wicket for the Sunrisers to lose.
Yeah, 8 wickets down is very jeopardous with 5 overs to go.
Yeah, now you really have to decide if you're going to plink it around at a run of ball and maybe try and hit the last over or 2, or just go shit or bust.
Yeah.
Nah, I think they're going to find the happy medium if possible, but this is quite disastrous. And Harshit coming back, he's done a good job.
Yes, he has. 2 balls left in our spell. Tony's going to join us. And also we're going to have... Oh no, I'm going to just still stuck with me. I'm on social and Ryan's going to come in.
Well, you'll have me for 2 stints, the start and the end of the innings at the second one, so I'm looking forward to that. Maybe
you may not be needed for those last 5 overs.
I was about to say that.
Yes.
The last 5 might be academic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bhuvi comes in, he can bat.
Yep, right. Here comes Harshit, and yes, you're right. Has a flash at it, Bhuvi. It's the beautifully jingled Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. How can he not be on the first? How can he not be anywhere?
Well, it's something to do with his eyes.
Oh, it's Bears finding.
Oh, no, there he is.
Oh, you've got him.
You've got the question of sport.
He got sent over from north, a better bat than we thought. He got Booby Kuma's eye.
Well, as I say, it would be strange if he had anyone else's.
Yeah, fair enough. No, but that slower ball, Harshit bowled
yes,
that very well.
It was, and the batsman gave himself a bit too much room, which is something he could do. He ended up reaching too far for the ball, and he can only shovel it up to long off. That is the end of the over. It's 125 for 8. So I'm going to go on to socials. I'll just grab my phone so I can do that. And Tony and Ryan will tell you what's happening.
Well, we will. What an extraordinary over that was from Ryan. 2 wickets. Yeah, 2 wickets. It was a fantastic piece of fielding by
Andre Russell.
I mean, I didn't know he had such agility in him. It was some dive to the left, low, picked, threw it all in one go.
Caribbean mojo.
Absolutely fantastic. Even then, Gurbaz, I think, looked like he was going to throw it to the wrong end. Changed his mind at the last minute.
But the wicket of Abdul Samad, that's a bad shot from him. When 2 wickets fell, you want to dig it deep.
Well, and Sanveer, I mean, not for the first time an impact sub, has literally made no impact whatsoever. I mean, you do sort of carry it's a cross to bear, isn't it? If you're going to be the impact sub, you have to actually make an impact. Somehow people are going to notice more when you don't. Well, Captain Cummins,
burden on their shoulders for
is going to be facing Chakravarti. He has the slip in place. Chakravarti's in, and Cummins bottom edges that onto his pad.
I think they're in a hurry to finish the match early.
Well, it could be.
They don't want to bat for 20 overs.
It could be. Maybe they knew it as we were covering this. We've forsaken our normal Thursday beat for the sake of the first qualifier, and they want to send us home early. Chakravarti again. That one's nudged straight to the man at slip, on the bounce though by Cummins. He has a very round arm and sort of square action, Ryan, doesn't he, Chakravarti?
Yeah, he's an architect by profession.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Well, he's architecting
the architect of the Sunrisers' downfall.
Exactly. This one's wide of off stump. not really a leg break, just sort of moved away a little bit.
Who is going to be the number 10 batsman for Sunrisers? So they have two bowlers who is set to face a ball in this season. Vijaykanth Vyaskan and T. Natarajan.
In comes our architect friend. And it
just fell short of
has
Venkatesh
been
Iyer.
taken by... Has Venki taken it or dropped it?
No,
just fell in
didn't
short.
carry. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't carry in the end. Chakravarti's looking horrified. Why do those green blobs that go up as dot balls start life as umbrellas?
We were talking about that. I think trees, I think they are.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Caught
Lord.
them in the proverbials.
He did. He took that completely. Who was the fielder there, Aaron?
Venkatesh Iyer.
Venki. Well, I'm afraid the reason he's laughing is because the ball, it did bounce well short of him, but then seemed to shoot up off the what I thought was a comparatively lush outfield and got him straight in the nuts. That looks
like an out.
No, outside the line.
No, says umpire Anil Chowdhury. Looks, yes, pitched outside line. Is that what you said?
Hit him outside line, yeah.
Ah, okay. That would be the reason. Bhuvi Kumar. I don't think has Bhuvi had to actually bat this IPL. I just had a quick glance and I didn't notice any innings of at all. That must be
out.
very
It must
close
be
this
out.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of round arm actions, that one is umpire Chowdhury
Review.
who kind of brings his arm around. It has been reviewed. Rayan, that looks to me like a. Well, you might as well because you've got a review. What's the point of not reviewing when you're 8 down?
When you have two reviews left.
Well, I was looking at my phone, so if you're calling this out, I'm going to play the jingle.
Yeah, that must be out.
It looked out to me.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
And as the bear will tell you, I am rarely wrong on LBW decisions.
That's no bad. Only thing they can say Bhuvi Kumar is the bounce.
Oh, it's quite high. It catches him on the top of the knee roll. And possibly... Yeah... Well, it was given out.
I feel it's
so
maybe clipping the leg stump.
Yeah,
umpire's call.
umpire's call then perhaps. And the umpire has already called it, of course, and he's called it in favour of the bowler on this occasion.
If he's out, who is going to come in next?
I thought Natarajan was a genuine number 11. I thought like he was a real bunny, or is the other guy as well?
Pitches outside off.
It's umpire's call.
Umpire's call, so he has to go. They don't lose a review. I'm not sure how much comfort that is going to be when you're 9 down for 126.
Oh, it's 9 down, so it must be Natarajan. He's the only one left.
I kept wondering why you're asking that question.
They have Vijaykanth Vyaskan as well.
They can't do.
Well, they've made the impact sub, right?
Yeah, but
he
in
made
place
literally no
of
impact
Abhishek
at all.
Sharma, they can.
Oh, I see. Yes, I see. One of them isn't going to bat.
Yeah.
One of them isn't going to have to bat at all because we're playing 12 aside. Yes, finally I see. Yes.
So it could be Natarajan, or who's the other choice?
Natarajan or Vijaykanth Vyaskan.
Ah, okay. Well,
two Tamil players.
Let you know.
Oh, I hope he has a thick skin. I remember we were playing a 12-a-side friendly game once, but we were only going to bat 11. So there was a younger lad who was obviously he was going to bowl.
Yeah.
And I said to him, and he was very keen batter, and I said to him, I've got a new batting position for you today, and he perked up a bit, goes, oh yeah, and I said number 12. he was not too happy.
Impact sub. Well, it's going to be Harshit.
Vijaykanth Vyaskan.
Who's going to be bowling, and it's Vyaskan.
Yeah.
Who is going to be in?
And like 10-1, I'm going to find this.
Who is?
I remember once Natarajan said he didn't bring his kit back to the ground because he don't want to bat.
Didn't bring his.
For some reason, I haven't written down how old he is.
Well, in that case, we get this.
Generic IPL guy.
Cummins is going to face who has a swing and a miss, and that really did swing in a little bit. It'll be a dot ball. It's gone through to Gurbaz.
This is a very below ordinary performance from Sunrisers after opting out to bat.
Well, ordinary is a good word for it. Yeah.
They had the one partnership's been like half the runs, more than half.
Yeah. Well, the other reason bloody Sanveer has let me down, and as the impact sub, was my little bit of research on him suggested in age group cricket he used to be called Neil Johnson because he both opened the batting and the bowling, as apparently Neil Johnson for Zimbabwe had done. So I thought, oh, that's an interesting thing to talk about. And he didn't even last long enough for me to do that. That's another swing and a miss. An attempted haul to leg. It was a slower ball, I think. It was cleverly disguised, too clever for Paceman Pat on that occasion.
Out, they've scored 3 runs in the last 16 balls.
It's not been easy scoring.
Not for a 9, 10, 11. It hasn't. No.
That said, if you get yourself run out, it was a good ball. It was a good ball that got Samvir. I think. I didn't think it was a particularly rash shot.
No, he wasn't trying to hit it out of the ground or anything. No.
Sunil Narayan, who is a class act. Over the wicket. That's nicely waited for. Guided down to short third. They'll take a single. And they need a single. They need more than singles, really. But when you're 9 down, you will just take what you can get. 9 down with 4 overs left.
Are you better off swinging from the hips? I'm not sure.
Well, the answer to that is can only ever be retrospective, Andy, unfortunately.
Hindsight, yes. Twitter seems to have given up on this game a long time ago. As Kieran Roseblade says, bear game. And also, what is the definition of architecture, I guess he means? Producing the same as everyone else, but convincing your client that it is unique.
Well, it depends who you are, really. I mean, certain architectural styles have created trends, haven't they? Our friend Vyaskanth is going to face... Oh, he's driven that quite sweetly, actually. Angled the bat, past backward point, down towards third. He'll should get 2 if they run well. No, they've just taken a single.
At the first sight, he looks like a decent batter. Vijaykanth Vyaskanth.
Well, what's he done so far? I'm not sure he's had cause to bat yet. He hasn't. He's played twice and hasn't been required to wield a willow. Gross performance in December 2020, became the youngest player at 18. Oh, so he must be about 24 now. To feature in the Sri Lanka Premier League for Jaffna Stallions. There you go. So we do know something about him.
Why don't you bring in Mitchell Stark right now?
Cummins is going to face Harshit, who drops this a little bit short. Beautifully guided past backward point and all the way for 4. Very much needed for the Sunrisers.
Now my innings going. Great guns. I hit the ball. 4 runs. I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
And I think, Andy, you could describe the crowd celebrations for those wearing orange as muted. Muted is the word, isn't it?
Very much so. I'd be tempted to bring on spinner. Has Chakravarti finished?
No, he has 1 more left.
I'd bowl him next over, yeah.
Why don't you bring in Mitchell Stark to bowl a Archer and finish things off?
The quicker it comes, the quicker it goes. I could see Cummins picking him
1
up
for 26
12.
for him. He's over the wicket. Cummins goes onto the back foot, has to reach for this in front of his off stump, does guide it to short third. They will get a single.
Cummins back to the strike.
Young Vyaskanth. No, he won't.
It's
the end of the over, isn't it? That's why. It's 133, 4-9 after 17 in this first qualifier at Ahmedabad. Remember, the loser has to play again. The winner
of tomorrow's game
straight to the final, which I think will be in Chennai, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chennai, the final this year?
Chennai qualified 2 and final is in Chennai.
Indeed. Andy, any social messages?
Well, I don't think so.
Scared them all off.
If you are tweeting and I'm not reading them out, it's not because of any lack of intent. My phone, Twitter can be a bit funny on phones and sometimes it misses things.
As Andy said, Varun Chakravarti is back into the attack again.
Yeah, I would definitely have done this, yeah.
Well, it is. Chakravarti's going to bowl his 4th over. He's bowled very tidily so far.
I think they'll just prod at him. They won't try to hit him, and he's got a good chance of getting a wicket.
Well, what's Cummins going to do? Brings out a lofted reverse sweep.
The exact opposite.
All the way. Well, it's ended up in the team dugout. Up go umpire Chowdhury's arms. And that was a superb shot.
That's a what of gold run.
Paceman Pat. Wow.
Yeah, so Cummins just decides to play the maddest shot imaginable. Reverse sweep
from in front of his middle stump.
Yeah.
It was a fine shot.
If he took the scorecard above 150, then that will be a massive boost.
Swung across the line at this, but it'll go down to backward square. He'll get a single.
No, fair play to Cummins. He's obviously decided he's just going to target this over.
This was, yeah, of course, because we're not in the 20th over, so he's giving it a go. Well, there's the answer to your question, Andy.
Well,
what is best? Is it best to have a crack?
That's what Cummins thinks is best. What his partner thinks is best might be something different.
Well, he's not captain. It may not
No,
matter.
no, I'm not saying I'm not saying there's a disagreement. I might say it maybe not be in Vishayanth's locker to play shots like that.
Yeah, it could be. Well, the run rate, just over 8, is low anyway. It's going to look even lower if they don't use their overs
That's
up.
what he's there.
So that one's nudge.
Plinks a single, yeah.
That's
for a
sensible
single.
batting.
Yeah, so I think the tactic here, Ryan, looks pretty clear to me. It is let Captain Pat have a swing.
Yeah.
And let Viskanth just nudge the ones, all threes.
That's the best thing.
To let Paceman Pat do it.
The more I see that run out, the more I think if Tripathi just kept going, he'd have had a decent chance of getting in.
He sort of gave it up, didn't he? Dre Russ, sharp fielding.
Oh.
That's beautifully swept by Cummings, but
straight to the fielder.
on the bounce to
Vaibhav Arora.
Varora.
They do obviously feel that every run counts. They're taking the single.
Every ball counts. If that would be a great strap line for a limited over competition, wouldn't it? Every ball counts. If only someone had thought of it.
Well, it's available for a fee.
No, it's not. It was used in the 100 when they launched
was
it.
Oh,
that one.
He managed to hit the
Tickles
ball,
around the corner.
or else it will be out.
Well, as Ryan
Straight into the body. He managed to hit towards the fine leg for a single.
very astutely said, he was looking to turn that around the corner. He did. Had he missed, he was gone. So 9 off this over. It's not bad. 9 off the is very good actually. With when you're into this lower order, the only problem is it's the 9 wickets. But again, once you get psychologically get past 150, that
Cummins go for a
looks
single
good.
or a boundary. We go for a single.
Cummins gets a big foot forward and guides this out towards
Retain the
deep
strike.
cover.
Yep, okay. You might see Big Mitch now, I wouldn't be surprised.
The skunk hair dude Andre Russell does the
Finally, we
fielding.
have a tweet. Spicy Golden Duck says, I can't think of anything clever to say. Well, join the club. But thank you for the commentary. Anyway, you make the IPL entertaining. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's really kind of you, Spicers. Very kind indeed. 144 for 9. It is after 18. Pat Cummings, not for the first time, has shown that he's well beyond the no mug with the bat stage these days, isn't he? He's a very capable batsman. He's done it at test level, and he's doing it here.
He has an IPL 50 off of
15 balls.
Yes, very low number of balls. I think the season before. Yeah.
Yeah, and he scored that 50 when he was with KKR.
Yeah, of course, coming back to haunt his former club.
Yeah, and now Mitchell Stark is back into the attack, going to bowl against his Aussie skipper.
Where is he? I'm just looking for him here. Has he other scores in this IPO? He made a 2 not out against the Titans.
And it's going to be hat-trick ball for Mitchell Stark.
He made 3 against the Punjab Kings. I'm just looking for any other scores. Oh, we made 31 against RCB. So they must have gone quite deep into the batting lineup there.
They haven't needed to tail all that often.
Well, it's going to be some Aussie on Aussie action, and it's nearly the Stark version of the Aussie who comes out on top there, because it was inside edged onto his toes by his test captain, Pat Cummings. Normally these two, we're so used to seeing operating in tandem as a unit, trying to take English wickets or Indian wickets or whoever they happen to be playing. Today they are in direct opposition. And it was very, very nearly Mitchell Stark who came out on top. 3 for 22 for him. He bowled one absolute purling in swinger in the first over, wasn't it? In fact, the second ball of the first over. That one is hauled, not the prettiest shot by any manner of means, but it finds its way to mid-on. Cummings gets a single, has a smile on his face. I think he's having a chuckle with his Aussie teammate. Yes, I think he is.
Stephen Kelk says hello. I'm off the pace. Didn't know there was Gorilla IPL today.
Yes, it's all a bit confusing because we're managing the Pakistan England World T20 warm-ups. They call it the Pakistan series, but essentially it's the warm-ups, isn't it, for them? So we're doing this one. We're not doing tomorrow's. That's well, there's no slip. Had there been, it would have been straight down their throat. As it is, it bumbles to third man and we'll get another single. And we are doing Fridays, I think, which would be the second qualifier. not the eliminator, and we are doing Sunday. So we're missing one of them, basically.
And
We're
in the
missing-
meantime, those England-Pakistan games are Wednesday and Saturday, yes?
Yes, it's playing with my head, doing rotors and availabilities.
What
and
is
stuff.
it, 6 p.m. tomorrow? And
6:30 starts for those. I think and it's 2:30 on Saturday. Stark inside edge, and again he nearly chops Mitchell Stark onto his stumps. And those two umbrellas or trees turn themselves into blobs. So out of 4 deliveries of this very sharp Mitchell Stark over, 2 have netted runs, 2 have netted nothing as far as the somewhat beleaguered Sunrisers are concerned. And it's 146 for 9. Can they get themselves past that 150? Can they get themselves to a full 20 overs? You have to assume if they do, then they must therefore. Oh, that's hauled. I think he's going to get that 4 for that, possibly even 6.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't think he knew a thing about it. Cummings was looking to pull to square leg. He top-edged it directly behind him, and it's gone for 6, and they have passed 150, courtesy of that top-edged maximum.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
Well, he ended up with one arm off the bat. The ball went high into the Ahmedabad sky.
he was looking in a completely different
And
direction,
where he
which
was-
didn't matter because his
No.
eyes were closed.
Where Mitchell Stark is just looking on in horror. There's a man who seems to have an inordinately large head there. As that one is
That's what I was saying.
guided past backward point. Mitchell Stark's just laughing. It's gone for 4 more. I mean, it's 10 off 2.
That's a
And
very,
Pat
very-
Cummings is carrying the fight back to the Knight Riders.
I think it's 30-run partnership for the last wicket.
Been
It's a
fantastic.
very handy lower order batting from Pat Cummins and Vijaykanth Vyaskan.
Well, once again, the hand was off the bat from Cummings, but he knew what he was doing. He came out to meet the pitch of the ball, angled the bat, guided it away through backward point, and got those 4 runs. 10 off the last 2, 12 off the over. We have got down to the last of the 20, which it really looked like they weren't going to be. It's going to be bowled by the skunk-haired Andre Russell, who has proven today that he's an extremely sprightly fielder with a magnificent piece of fielding.
I think,
And it's 156 for 9.
yeah, from 126 for 9 to 156 for 9, Pat Cummins took SRH to the respectable total.
He barrels in, does Dre Russ. That is guided away. That's not going to
Probably
beat the man who's
2.
coming round from third. They should
Yeah.
get 2.
Oh, he's
to
running
deep
for
backward
3.
point. They're coming
That's
back
a-
for 3, and I think they're going to get it. Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Because the fielder underarmed it in, like
Yeah.
it was me.
Well,
what
I-
did you do that for? And Russell I think, is making that exact point.
Well, I think he thought there's only 2 here, not calculating that desperation is the name of the game here for the Sunrisers, and they're going to end up with a
No, it was a,
not that far south of par.
It was a
I
smart
think.
piece of running because they didn't just settle for 2, and he's got it in his hand. Suddenly they
It was
realised
that
it's a
it was a shocking
terrible,
throw.
terrible
It was,
throw.
Yeah, it was I think they had settled for 2, and then
Yeah.
suddenly thought, oh, hang on. Well, Andre Russell is standing there with his arms spread wide. I can't quite read his lips, but it
throwing
wasn't.
underarms harder than it looks.
It wasn't complimentary, I think, is all we can say. Over the wicket he comes.
Oh.
That's a full, quite floaty Yorker. Very well bowled indeed. Cummins can dig it out, but he won't get a run.
I think he could have had 1 if he wanted. I think he elected to stay for that one.
He's thinking,
He wanted to face the remaining 4 balls.
well, if they're going to do that, you've got to hit them. That's the trade-off you're making, which is essentially there's a little bit of fractiousness in the Knight Riders.
That's what 10th wicket partnerships will do, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Mitchell Stark was getting frustrated. Certainly Andre Russell was getting frustrated. In he comes again. That's up in the air. Is anyone going to be underneath it? There's no way that is going
Keeper says
anywhere
mine, and he took the
except
catch.
into the man with the big gloves, which is Gurbaz, who
So-
takes it comfortably.
Sunrisers end up with 159.
159, as Rayan rightly says, is where they end up. They didn't quite make it to their full 20, 19 and a half overs. They got 45 for 4. They were in the power play, 80 for 4 after 15.
No, in the
in
15.
15. Oh, sorry, yeah, that wouldn't add up. And then the last 16, 17, 18, 19, the last 5, 34 in the last 5. All down pretty much to the that last 2, and 30 to Pat Cummings in the end, was it? So he's dug his side out of a hole, not fully.
Who is going to who you guys are backing at the halfway stage? Is there any twist?
Well, there could be. I mean, but you know, if those 30 runs have really put a different complexion on it, you know, 130 and you just think game over.
Yeah.
160 and you've got a chance. You've got a chance. You've got to obviously take some early wickets like Mitchell Starc did, and hope for the best.
Well, the Sunrisers have got some capable bowling.
Yeah, they have some quality bowlers in their unit.
So, well, not least Bhuvi Kumar, who's bowled the second most Yorkers, I think, in this IPL.
And he has some good in-swingers and out-swingers.
He's got good in-swingers and out-swingers, you're absolutely right. Yes, it'll be interesting. Most of the smart money, I think, would be on the Knight Riders. But who knows? We're getting a good aerial view of the huge Modi Dome bowl. What do we reckon? About 3/4 full from what we can see.
Yeah, it's not bad considering
Not
obviously
bad considering
the
they're neutral.
home team
It's
not
not the
playing.
home team.
Yeah.
Right. Well, a quick story of that innings. Got off to an explosive start. A lot of Australia action. Travis Head was comprehensively cleaned up by Mitchell Starc, and that he'd only faced 2 balls. Abhishek Sharma was caught off the bowling of Aurora. Rahul Tripathi, he did pretty well, but he got himself run out by a superb dive to his left at backward point and throw by Andre Russell. After that, there was a 9 from Nitish Kumar, another victim of Starc. Another one, Shabazz Ahmed, barrelled in, got bowled, barrelled out again, all in the space of 1 ball. He wasn't the only golden duck of the day, by the way. Klassen did pretty well, but he couldn't carry it through. 32 for him. Abdul Samad, 16 off 12. Samveer Singh, the impact sub. In came the impact sub. Out went the impact sub. 1 ball faced. Pat Cummings, captain's knock, 30 off 24. Bhuvi Kumar, none off 4. He was LBW to Varun. And Viaskanth, 7 to keep him company. Pick of the bowlers has to be Mitchell Starc.
Just Starc, obviously.
Gotta be Mitchell Starc. 3 for 34 off his 4. 1 each for Aurora, Rana, Narayan, who possibly deserved more. And actually was the most expensive was Sunil Narayan. He went for 10. So did Andre Russell went for 10, but just 1 for 15 off his 1.5. And Varun Chakravarti 2 for 26. Well, there we go. You'd put your money probably on the Knight Riders.
Yep, Kieran says this was dead before Pat's innings. At least he's given them something to bowl at.
He absolutely has.
And talking of smart money, the Bears bet has come in, but will it be a Bear game?
Well,
later
the Bear,
on today?
I'll tell you, the Bear was getting very, very excited in the green room. He'd randomly put a spot bet on a run out, which then, of course, duly happened. He's about 75 quid richer,
nice.
I think.
Yeah, beers are all round.
Well, yes, you'd like to think.
Right, now, do you know how to make something play on this?
Yes.
Feel free.
You want me to tell you? It's not easy from this angle.
Stupid Max. I mean...
normally I go to the podcasts on... go to our website on the right... alternatively, we could just shout for the technical department.
It was a normal computer. You could just click on another tab, but I've got no idea what all that means.
If I can get to the web, let me pass to you, and if I can get to the website there, we'll just pop something on Thingamy. I'll see what I can do.
The best place to be a cricket fan is in Barbados. You don't want to miss out on this one. Book your cricket escape today at visitbarbados.org/cricket. Visit Barbados, proud sponsors of Cricket on Sports Social.
The Bishop and the Bear, the Bishop and the Bear, and to the delight of everyone, they are here to share jokes and rants and guests and things. Who knows what any fun they'll bring?
Not affiliated with the Mad Bishop and Bear pub at Paddington Station.
The Bishop and the Bear, bats beyond compare. Buckets of savoir-faire, the Bishop and the Bear.
He's the author of a fantastic...
Welcome back to the Bishop and Bear. Now,
hard men.
Who do you think of when you think about a hard man? Vinnie Jones? Norman Hunter? Mike Tyson? Well, it's none of those we're going to chat about today. We want to focus on cricket's hard men, the toughest characters from the history of cricket. Our guest on the bar stool of bravado is Richard Sydenham, sports journalist and author of a book which is all about that very subject, cricket's hard men. Richard, a huge welcome to the Bishop and Bear.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Delighted. What can we get you to drink?
Oh, Banksy's mild.
Banksy's, there we go. We're slap bang in the Midlands. That places you geographically based on your beer selection immediately. Now, I've my first question for you, actually, was you're a lifelong Aston Villa fan. If I think hard men, I've got to think Paul McGrath. Did he ever play cricket?
Oh, I don't know about that, but he played football bloody well. But
he sure did.
It was never really a hard man. He was too good. He didn't need to be hard because he thought quicker than the next man. He was quick in pace, and he's just the best Villa player I've ever seen.
On next to no knees.
Sorry?
On next to no knees for me.
I guess that made him pretty hard, the fact that he is no knees. Did a bit of cycling on a Friday afternoon and went out and was man of the match every Saturday. Yeah, it was pretty special, really.
Anyway, so we got your Banksy's. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And then we'll come on to the book, and the idea for it. But just tell us about you.
So I started my journalism career in 1994, which was a good year to start out because I was covering predominantly Aston Villa and Warwickshire for a local paper in Birmingham. Obviously, that became Lara's year, 94.
Yeah.
For a rookie journalist, it was a pretty special time to be covering your local cricket team when, I was talking to Lara pretty much every week. He'd give me a few interviews. All the other guys, I'd call some of them friends now, and they were a really good bunch of guys. There was no press officers in those days, so you could just walk up to a player and ask for an interview, whether it was in the members' bar or just outside the changing rooms. Access was great. Equally, doing the same at the training ground of Aston Villa. Wander up to a player in the car park, they'd give you a phone number, or you just have in fact my first interview with Dwight York in the passenger seat of my Austin Maestro.
Nice.
Which was the theme of the day there. But,
there's a car and sportsman's theme here, Bear.
Yeah.
You and Clive Lloyd.
Well, yeah.
Richard and Dwight York.
That's how it all started, and obviously we are now where we are.
Well, so I mean, I've had a great time, I've got to say, reading the book we're sort of nattering about is Cricket. So hard men, the toughest characters from the history of cricket. There's 22 of them. Did you kind of have in mind that you wanted two teams, or how did the number 22 come about? Just out of interest.
Yeah, it does seem a bit of a random number. I point there. Initially, I was looking at 25, and then I just thought it was a few too many, and I wanted to include those other chapters that I'm sure you'll ask me about the mental side of the sport. So I just thought I don't want to overdo it. So I just thought these 22, to me, I felt like they picked themselves. Obviously, I had a few opinions from other people I spoke to, and that those were the 22 that we're left with.
Okay. So, I mean, the first question, and you're right. One of the things that really interested us was the fact that you have two very specific chapters on beating anxiety and depression, and we're beating demons, and then the growing understanding and how it's changed over time of anxiety and depression. And it was quite interesting that to set a context for hardmen. I mean, I've got to be honest. Before I picked up the book, I was thinking in my head. I'm thinking, who are cricket's Norman Hunters, Eddie McCready's, Ron Harris's, Tommy Smith's? Name any. I guess in my head, I'm thinking hard footballers who had that reputation for, let's say, pushing the rules beyond, and yet the selection is often more, I guess, based on mental challenges, facing adversity. There's a lot of things in there that aren't about pushing and breaking rules. It's just about the kind of the fortitude or adversity, and coming through that is often something. But you chose to set a context first of exploring the mental side of the game. What kind of led you down that path?
Well, first of all, I'll just say that you kind of touched on the football aspect. That was probably the one thing that gave me the idea initially. I remember watching, because this was an idea that came about over 10 years ago, and it's took me this long to finally put it down into print because of various other projects in life getting in the way, other books and other things work-wise. But the inspiration, I remember seeing an advert on TV about Soccer's Hard Men. I think it was either a program or a DVD or something like that, and I just thought it was a little bit cliched as a football DVD, because I've never actually I didn't see Vinnie Jones, for instance, who's the iconic football hard man. I didn't see him as being hard. I don't see biting the journalist's nose or finishing the player's career with a stupid tackle as being hard.
Squeezing Gazza's bollocks.
Exactly. So I could be here all day about some of the cliched so-called hard footballers I disagree with, but being someone who works in cricket as well as football, I just thought, wow, man, that would be a really interesting idea to translate to cricket. And the more I thought about it, the more I asked the questions of myself: what makes a hard man of cricket, like you've just asked me? And I think it's a lot more about mental toughness.
Yeah.
It would be in football. Football is really physical, isn't it? Okay, you need a bit of mental toughness when you're trying to get over an injury or you're playing with a bad ankle or something like that. But when you take the Mike Atherton 185 in Johannesburg, he's not like Mike Tyson there. He's not a physical hard man. That's pure stubbornness and bloody-mindedness, as well as obviously being a damn good batsman. But there's lots of examples of being a hard man in cricket like that, where it takes a lot more than physicality. So I studied that a lot more. Another one of those first 3 chapters in the book is called Finding the Mongrel, the Inner Mongrel.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can be a hard man of cricket without having a good portion of what I first heard the phrase from Mickey Arthur, actually, what he called the mongrel spirit. And I think we all know what he's talking about, that little bit of that bit between your teeth that someone like a Cole Hooper, who was one of the most elegant, graceful batsmen, if he would have had a bit of mongrel spirit, I reckon he might have averaged 45, 46 instead of 33, 34, so it just wasn't in everybody. But all these...
I think you actually mentioned that example. Mickey Arthur's interesting. Mongrel is often something that I always normally think of Aussie mongrel as 2 words that go together in cricket, but he's a South African.
Well, we saw a bit of Aussie mongrel because we saw it from Pat Cummings. We certainly saw it from Mitchell Stark. We didn't see it today, Ajit, from Travis Head, did we?
Well, that was very comprehensive. If there was ever a furniture getting disturbed.
It was. I mean, Stark, I think, bowled absolutely beautifully. Sunil Narayan bowled pretty well, although he was the most expensive.
Well, he came back well. I mean, it could have all gone pear-shaped. He could have considered 45, 48. He came back, kept it to 40, but there were 2 wickets in that last over of his, so that's crucial.
Well, indeed, he's going to be opening with the wicketkeeper batsman Ramanullah Gabaz. And I realised I'm sitting here on my own. We're supposed to have Messers with us, aren't we? Messers, have you appeared from the weather cave?
He has.
I have.
Magnificent.
I have suddenly perked up.
You've suddenly perked up. Let me.
I was a bit distracted, I'm sorry.
Well, that's quite all right. Here's Sunil Narayan.
Please don't malign Sunul Narayan.
And his partner in crime is going to be this fella. And it should be the wonderful Bhuvi Kumar, if I can find his amazing eyes jingle. Here he is.
He got $10 for naught, a better bat than we thought. He got Booby Kuma's eyes.
Well, you would think 160, eminently chaseable. Most of the smart money is going to have to be on the Night Riders, isn't it? But they're going to start with a dot ball. Good, sharp first delivery. Bang on the money straight away from Bhuvi.
In these days and ages, I mean, this is not a very challenging total. It's a good ground. It's a good batting ground. But if you look at some of the lowest scores defended in the IPL, as late as 2019, Mumbai Indians defended 149. There is a 162 that KKR themselves defended, but this was in their heyday, 2012. 148 Mumbai again, 2013. So, well, this can be done. It all goes off on the first 6 overs, I'm sure.
Well, Gobaz is going to be facing again. There is a slip. It swings a little bit, but it's driven sweetly by Gobaz away through cover for the first boundary. Classic cover drive, really. Too much width, maybe, Ajit, from Bhuvi
Too full, I think, but the width, it just swung, the ball swung away without, we don't know how much it's going to swing. That generated the width for him. But he played it like a test match shot, into the ground, just looking for the gap rather than looking to hit it too hard. So that's well done him.
Well, good start from Gobaz. This one, though, is a better ball. It's just shorter and definitely straighter from Bhuvi.
And it was coming
defended.
In. So, yeah, he's shown both sides of seam just now, Mr. Bhuvi. That one came in. The previous one was going away from off the seam.
That's not very helpful. Cricinfo saying, sorry, this page can't be found for this actual match.
Yeah.
That's really annoying, just when you need it.
Hydbd I found is less laden, therefore less prone to malfunctions of.
I was looking to see who's coming in 3, actually. Is it Shreyas Iyer at 3?
I will expect it will be Shreyas Iyer, but then
that's what I would have thought.
Bhuvi
Kumar's in, edged, taken. Yes, no, not enough excitement. Surely that's out.
I think it's just beaten. No, it's just swung away.
Was there a no bat on it?
No, just a bye.
I think
not
it
even
went
a
off.
bye. Yeah,
I think it
keeper's
might
glove.
have touched the keeper's glove.
Precisely.
Oh.
He was just beaten by the swing, nothing else. I mean, this is one of those test match type beautiful seam presentation. The ball.
Are we
test
sure?
match. Keeper's pads, I would say.
Well, that was. We might have to see that a couple more times because that looked salmon trout to me. But apparently not. Still, that slip is there. Bhuvi Kumar is in, and it's nicely dabbed to backward point. They're going to take 1. They look for 2. There's a horrible mix-up in the field. Everyone seems to be looking at everyone else, and somehow that 1 is turned in to 2. Bhuvi Kumar just goes about his work. But what happened there?
The castle on the bowling side, the batting side had been disturbed. By the way, look at the gap.
Yes, I see what you mean.
It went off the keeper's pads, actually.
It was the key. You're right. It was the keeper's pads. Looked for all the world like it was an edge.
Yeah, I mean, as we say on the field, if there was no hard sound. It was a soft sound.
Hard to tell when you have no sound at all, other than the gentle hum of the crowd noise that is what we have.
It's Iyer. We saw Shreyas Iyer, not Venkatesh Iyer, who's planning to come in next.
6 without loss then for the Night Riders. Not without alarm, but that one's nicely driven, but driven straight to cover. Oh no, I beg your pardon. Yes, straight to cover it was.
Indeed.
And then the throw came in.
Ball coming back.
Is it me, or is there some very sort of jumpy camera work going on here by the director?
I think it's a bit of jumpy camera work, some framing.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure it's as smooth as it could be. 6 without loss, 1 over in. Messers.
You got me all excited then, anyhow.
It's all steady.
All right.
Steve Kelk says Tectoni on the wheels of steel. 9 people watching on the YouTube. Viewing figures have halved with the change of schedule, or just let the die-hard creme de la creme viewers. Yes, well, you are, of course, the creme de la creme, Kieran. But I think, a lot of people have been sort of tuned into Thursdays, so got a bit thrown by the finals.
Right.
But I'm sure we've got more listeners than that, but not a lot of life on Twitter, to be honest.
Oh, well, not to worry. Well, we do worry.
Time problem.
Come and just let us know you're there, so we're not doing this just to entertain ourselves. Pat Cummings, needless to say, who was superb with the bat to dig his side out of, at least partially out of a hole, is driven, though, sweetly over mid-off. 2 or 3 bounces by Narayan, and it's a boundary, and
he's off.
Away he goes.
You know, a slightly taller person may have had a chance. It was Nitish Reddy there, and no.
They've only met once this season, haven't they? That went the way of the Knight Riders. That one again is on full, and that's driven in the offside this time. So he's driven over mid-off, he's driven through mid-on, and Captain Cummings, having played so well with the bat, has gone for 8 off his first 2.
But this is one. It's a good pitch.
And 3 young ladies dressed in Knight Rider maroon jiggle and move, not necessarily in any coordinated manner.
Well, in any case,
entertaining nonetheless.
Yes, he was too full, I thought there. I mean, he was trying to compensate for the previous ball, which was hit on the up. This one was too full. It was almost in his arc.
In he comes again. Short! That's pulled high. There should be someone underneath that. Is it going to drop safe? It is. It was backward of square. There was a fine leg. There was a deep backward square. And it was short of both and between both. And will get, possibly fortuitously, Sunil Narayan a single. Hey, now why was Sunil Narayan in a conversation I was in recently? Oh, it was, we were discussing with Ben Bloom the whole economics and finance of
I heard his
T20 cricket these days, and we were
nicely
talking.
Done that one.
Well, we were talking about the fact didn't he sort of ditch Surrey to go off to not play in the Blast final, or he tried to because he had a contract. Then he dipped out of the 100 to go somewhere else, and we were sort of talking about him in sort of the context of being the thoroughly modern, go where the money is.
Yeah, you're avoiding the M word, and I respect you for that.
Well, hold on 1 second. That one's through Klassen, whose dive was straight out the Scottish goalkeeping playbook, because it was an absolute shocking dive to leg. Pat Cummins is going, WTF happened. Is Klassen all right? It may be one of those feigning an injury because he just wanted to.
They've reviewed it.
Are they reviewing for LBW, are they?
Yes, he was moving across, but I think because it's been not given, I think it's going to...
No, actually, I think you're right. I think there's a very good chance this is out.
Well, Klassen dived to his left. He seems to have hurt his knee, so we have some concern over him. In amongst all of that, it was off the pad. I thought it was high and going down leg.
Umpire's call on leg stump, if you ask me.
Ajit, who has younger eyes than I, is going for umpire's call on leg stump, and the umpire call was, of course, not out.
He had shuffled enough, though. Yeah, he had
shuffled. Good shot.
In which case, it'll be 4, won't it? It'll be 4 leg byes.
4 leg byes for sure. Yeah.
And as yet unspecified damage to Klassen in his rather laboured attempt to stop it. Let's have a look here. We're going to find out. It's missing.
Missing altogether. Wow.
1 up for Tony. 1-0 to the Bish. And
good umpiring nonetheless.
Yes.
There's a bit of bounce on this pitch, and batsmen are able to trust it, so it's very even bounce. And I thought it looked a bit high. I mean, even as I said, umpire's call on the leg stump, but it's very interesting that Gurbaz chose if it was any fuller, you would argue it would hit the middle of his bat. But yeah.
Well, umpire Chowdhury and I, if you combine our ages, I think we're about 130. And between us, our eyes were better than yours.
I can see that. All
There
right,
we go.
all right. You can have that.
Cummings, in he comes. That's again. He's swung off.
How do you
his
describe
feet,
that shot?
but- Well, I would describe that as being a 6, but I would also
Yes.
describe it as an attempted haul towards square leg that is top edged and ends up going down towards third man, but all the way over third man for one of these.
I believe in miracles. Since you came to bat, you 60 things, 60 things.
And he threw everything at it, didn't he? And kitchen sink included.
I think he was going to hit it to Delhi.
That's down leg, so that'll be a wide. Captain Pat, I think, has been rather thrown off his thrown out of
Yes.
whack here
He's been a little rattled by the looks of it.
because it's one of
That
these.
LBW.
Wide.
I see you've
Nah,
got
that
a very topical backdrop to your your Zoom there, which I rather like.
The Borealis one. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
choose one and I stick to it for years. I don't really change them.
Well, you were. It was always San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge for ages, ever since I first met you.
Exactly.
Cummings in. That's Fuller, a better ball. That probably is the best ball he's bowled. And it's Travis Head, who is at, I think you call it slip, probably a third slip.
Yeah.
And it goes on the bounce to him. And it means that after that somewhat eventful over, was are they 10 without loss?
No. There was more runs in that over already.
14 without loss
26
for the
no-
Night Riders.
Yes.
26 is the
26 for no loss. Yeah.
Tell you what, the bloody Cricinfo website is all over the shop at the moment.
Now, I go to Crick Bus for these days when it's less. Let's just say it's less cluttered. The site. I mean,
26,
less
as you
informative.
rightly say, without loss.
Yeah.
Messers.
Kieran Roseblood says, "Oh my God, I've forgotten, Messi. How's your bandicoot doing? Still think he eats a chicken? Well,
bandicoot.
Actually thinks it's a duck. When it comes to feeding, every day when I go to feed the ducks, it's hanging around waiting to be fed. But there are several bandicoots out there. That's just one of them.
Bhuvi Kumar.
It's a duck.
Oh, that looks.
That's out.
Well, it isn't,
No.
according to the umpire.
Okay. He's
Bhuvi's
going to pitch outside leg.
Bhuvi's reviewing. Klassen says you might as well, because otherwise it's a bye, and I don't want one of those. And our friend Mr. Pandey, who is only 43, who's a mere stripling compared to Chowdhury at the other end, is going to review.
I see that certain bandicoots are extinct. Are you sure it was not just a garden variety rat or something?
Oh, absolutely. There's a whole lot of them. There's about half a dozen. There's the occasional rat as well, but the bandicoots are different, very different.
Well, I'm sorry to
But they're
interrupt.
sure it pitched online already. Then they make a chance. I thought it was going to pitch outside leg. We're not seeing where it pitched.
Well, no, they're not showing us that because we're looking at the side on. Well, we're looking at the square on view,
It's
the
out.
side on
That looks
view.
out.
Let's have a look. We can now tell you pitches in
pitched outside
line.
leg. No, I'm telling you, it pitched outside leg. That's why I thought no, you can't get that out.
That's 1 millimeter outside leg.
Oh,
Wow.
well, that to me, well, if that was a VAR decision, that's what they call a toenail offside.
Court of varnish.
Means they are still 26 without loss, the Night Riders. Where the
No, they're 30
Sunrisers
without
had
loss.
no luck, they've already had a couple of bits, I think.
They are 30 without loss. That went to the boundary, by the way.
Oh, it went, of course, yes, it did. It went to the boundary. Bhuvi Kumar's wrinkling up his nose.
He looks like a bandicoot.
He
You can't believe that decision.
Bandicoots are much better looking than that.
I'm sure they don't have Bhuvi's eyes there, as this one
no, they
is punched by Narayan towards mid-on, and he strolls an easy single, and the score will move on to 31.
In his perennial comeback from yet another injury, though, Bhuvi seems to have added a bit of pace. I
He
don't know
has.
at what sacrifice. I don't know. Maybe some more swing and accuracy, but that ball was 139. I'm surprised pleasantly.
I'm not sure what Pat Cummings is gesturing about.
Slip catching, I think.
Oh, he wants
He's
to slip
asking
in
does
there,
he need
does
a
he?
slip? Yeah, usually
Well,
that's the rather than give me some money, but you never know.
I think, to be honest, when you're defending a small total, there's two ways you can go. You can strive for an early wicket, or I mean, you can't defend too much because you've got the fielding restrictions to stop you, but they do have the slip in place.
You'll need some clever field placing.
They
Both
have
of these are
well,
best.
it is quite interesting because you've got the slip and you've got the short third man. Sort of. We shall see what happens. Down the track comes Gurbaz and launches this into the Ahmedabad night sky. Back over Cummings' head, and young Rohit Pandey can stretch his arms high because it is one of these.
It was a slow ball, and he had picked it by the looks of it as he advanced at it.
In the manner of a golfer who's just launched the sweetest of drives straight down the middle. He holds the pose for the cameras because he knew, did Gurbaz, that he'd caught all of that very sweetly indeed. 37 without loss. It means he's now got 4,003 T20 runs, says Mr. Gurbaz. Not sure he's got all of that. He's got enough just to clear mid-on, bumble into the mid-on boundary, and it's going to be 4 more to add to his 6.
They seem to be in a hurry.
There's not one boy for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
And I've just realised they seem to be. Are there 2 lots of dancers? One lot who dress in the colours of each team. Oh, okay, that would make sense.
You get your own home dancers, right? I mean,
we've had 75 matches, and you finally got there. Tony.
Well, oddly, Messrs, I don't necessarily focus particularly on the dancing girls and boys. I might point out.
How should we put it politely? It's a bit past you, is it?
It's
all right.
All right. I could still chase them so long as it was downhill. Yes. 41 without loss. In comes Bhuvi Kumar, crashed away through, not through, to cover, and there will be no run.
Look, if you are the bowling side, there's nothing wrong in trying to be a bit attacking against these two. They are not going to hit to those traditional covers and extra covers sort of. They're going to go in the air. So you might as well keep them in fielding positions, catching positions, right? So why not?
You might as well.
Go a bit innovative, try different lengths, try slower balls. This is a good pitch.
42 off 2.5 puts them massively ahead. Remember, the power play for the poor old Sunrisers will just wait. This one is thumped away beautifully. Is it going to beat the man at wide mid-on? No, it isn't. So it'll just be 2. Remember the Sunrisers power play, 45 for 4. That was off 6. And halfway there, I think they've equalled that, haven't they?
Yes, exactly that. 44 for no loss.
So they're
not yet the third over. Well, exactly.
Extraordinary. So at the moment, I'm not. Well, let's have we'll have a little look. What's the old win predictor? Well, win probability, bizarrely, has the Sunrisers at 10%. I suppose when you're not far into the game, there has to be a limit on just exactly how much you can. Oh my lord, what's going on here?
Cameraman has found a good angle to keep you entertained, Tony.
Well,
not
by the quality of the dancing. Let's put it that way. The quality of the dancing is lackluster at best.
I mean, how should I put it very politely? Some of them look to be built for comfort rather than speed.
I think you probably don't want to go there.
Sorry. No, I was more thinking of the bowling lineup. Now there's a new bowler here.
Well, would you like to borrow a spade that you can dig yourself out of that with?
Thank you.
It's Natarajan who is going to be into the attack. He's going to be bowling to Gurbaz. 44 without loss. Left arm over. Beats swing outside of his off stump by Gurbaz. That was a good ball from Natarajan to start proceedings off. Puts the brakes temporarily on this Knight Rider charge.
It's a good move. He brings a different angle. He bowls left arm over the wicket, so he's going to take the ball away from the right-hander. And you're going to try to do something, right? Maybe try a catch at third man or at extra cover. So you see both of those fielders.
Oh, I've just noticed the trophy is there. Do they keep it? Do they take it round to every ground? Oh, that's up in the air and he's got a wicket.
It's worked.
Gurbaz has driven him aerially straight to cover point. And the change of bowling immediately works. Natarajan has a wicket off his second delivery. And the first wicket to fall is Gabazi's gone for 23. Caught at extra cover off Natarajan. And, well, it's 44 for 1. And
I think
I should find one of these. Here we go.
That's a good move. I said. All right.
I think you're right. It's that change of angle did the job, didn't it? Slanted
but has he done his job? I'm
right-hander.
thinking. 23, opposition rattled. You, as you said, you made runs in half the time. Here come the traditional batters, the guys who will just walk this home.
Right, it's Venkatesh Iyer, who is going to be our new man.
Their strategy's been spot on, hasn't it? Just knock off as much as you can in the first 6 overs.
Here he is.
And
oh, sorry, Moses. Now, they're no relations, these two Ayers, are they?
They don't even come from the same city. They come from cities which are about 350 kilometers apart. Though, from the surname, their ancestors could have been, maybe, cousins.
Well, yes, that's true. Are we going to wait for the successful wicket taker? And he's whipped off his toes down to fine leg. I presume that was bat. Yes, it was. It's 4 to Venki to get himself off the mark, off his first ball.
He was still bowling at a right-hander. Yeah, no, he was still bowling at a right-hander. It was paired into his pads. My only worry is before I'm done in the sprint, it'll probably come to run a ball. Then, dies as a game. I'm just hoping there'll be something left for my second stint as well. We want a contest, don't we? We don't want it to be too one-sided.
Well, that ship may have sailed. Another couple of wickets may have to happen pretty quickly. That one didn't really get hold of that quite as well. Again, he was looking to whip it away, possibly backward a square. It did go straight to square leg. He will get a single. Good start though, nonetheless, from Natarajan, as that left arm is slanting across the right-hander. We're looking at the wicket. Beautifully pouched.
That was a miscue as well.
It was a miscue. He knew it as well. The second he'd hit it. You know what that feeling's like. Anybody who's held a bat and batted, know when it feels all sort of splicey and horrible, and you just know in your water where it's going, don't you?
Yeah.
In comes Natarajan. That's a clever ball. Narayan has a waft to pull to leg, and it was slower, and was a bit too smart for him.
And I think it swung away from him.
Well, he'd moved across, hadn't he? He'd moved across outside of his towards leg for him.
Keep him guessing, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy will swing at everything, right? He's a broken door.
49 for a rusty gate.
Or a rusty gate.
49 for 1. In comes Natarajan to what should be the completion of his first over, and it's a good ball too. It's very full. And again, Narayan fails to get it away. And with 4 overs gone, and remember the power play for the Sunrise is 45 for 4. With 2 overs left of the power play, the Night Riders are 49 for 1. Messers.
I'm sorry to say that our social media peeps seem to have decided to keep quiet for the moment. But I was just going to say, Tony, how much I enjoyed listening to your podcast with the proprietor of the Sixers franchise.
Oh, right. Yes, that was good fun. He was...
and I happened to be at a focus group meeting at the Wacker yesterday, and I suggested... The CEO came and sat in for 20 minutes. I suggested they should look at something like Sixers as part of the redevelopment there.
And were they interested?
He sounded interested. I'm going to drop him a line and send him a link to your podcast so he can learn something about it.
Oh, that would be a very good idea.
This must be the latest episode.
It also raises a very interesting question, which I'm going to ask Messers. After this ball from Bhuvi Kumar is defended towards point, and there is no run, what are they planning to do with the Wacker, Messers?
Oh, the redevelopment's already well underway. They've knocked down most of the old stands, and they're making it a boutique ground with only capacity for about 10,000 people, but with a very sophisticated high performance centre, a leisure centre, a gym, a swimming pool, a cafe coming onto the ground, all that sort of stuff.
Sounds fabulous, actually.
It's looking great, yeah.
And that
and they'll
one's
play WBBL
whipped again by Venkatesh Iyer all the way down to fine leg for 4 more. Sadly, the Fremantle doctor then will have been made redundant. Because he'll have nothing to blow on, will he?
Not entirely. If you're in the top tier of the new stadium, it actually comes through quite well. There to keep you a little cooler. It doesn't affect the players much, but it certainly...
Well, coming through well is Bhuvi Kumar, and coming at him well is Venkatesh Iyer, who's launched him over mid-off for another 4.
Well, he was overcompensating.
And 2, and 3, and 4.
57 for 1. It's good use of the feet. Beautiful.
And you saw this coming. He went on the pads. He shouldn't have been there, so it was just flicked away into a gap in the leg. Now
very short from Bhuvi, who's shaking his head and wrinkling his nose and generally giving the impression that he knew he didn't get that right. Certainly Venkatesh Iyer knew he didn't get it right.
Well, 12 off 5 is a good start for him as well.
12 each for these two. 12 off 5 is pretty good. A rather slower 12 off 8 from Narayan.
Who would have thunk it?
Oh, and that's past the outside edge of Venkatesh Iyer, who didn't seem to use his feet much at all. I think he was possibly thinking of looking to run it down to third. As it was past him.
By the way, there is an international game afoot today. It's in the newly constructed Prairie cricket ground in Houston.
Oh, and who's playing whom?
Bangladesh are taking on USA, and they are 126 for 4 in the 17th over. It's a T20.
Is this they're batting first, are they?
They're batting first.
Well, 126 for 4 is hardly running away with things against the US, is it?
Well, it's a new pitch.
As that one is down leg. Not far enough down leg to warrant a wide, though.
Yeah, that was a well-directed bouncer.
So
he's following up with, I think they have a back-of-lens strategy to Venkatesh Iyer. You can see a lot of that.
103 off 91, so we haven't quite got to the doomsday scenario of just to run a ball by the end of the power play, which is what Ajit was worried about. Who is the young lady we keep seeing for the Sunrisers?
She's the owner of the team.
Oh, she's their owner, is she?
Or she's the CEO, I think, and she's the daughter of the owner.
Well, she's not looking very happy, and now we can understand why.
No. Yeah.
57 for 1.
Kavya Maran, that's her name.
1 ball left of this over, unless anything untoward happens.
How does Travis Head manage to look so scruffy like a 80s villain?
He does, doesn't he?
He always does.
It's a good look. I think it's quite a good look.
I mean, it is, but he just looks out of, 3 decades out of place.
It's also, I mean, he could be a,
it's very
Boone,
actually.
A gas station attendant
Boone,
somewhere in the south of the states, couldn't he?
You need one
who
of those
says something
hats.
like, "Now you guys are not from round here."
Yep,
as that one is defended by Venki Iyer. Down onto his toes. It's a dot ball to finish, or an umbrella that turns itself into a dot.
He's under there. Trucker hat and, if possible, one of those dried stalks of grass. All right.
Message, do you want to just clean up anything on social? Because I think I'm then socialing after you.
I'll see you guys later.
There's nothing to be cleaned up at the moment, I'm afraid.
Okay, well it should be Andy, me and the bear. I might as well stay where I am, shouldn't I? You, Bear, are doing summarising. I'm doing socials. Andy is going to sit in the middle seat. Yes, I'm just steady on. I'm getting there.
Yeah, do it now.
Lord above. Right.
Well, KKR are doing it now. They're won the battle of the power play, unless they lose like 5 wickets in this over, because they're 57 for 1 when Sunrisers were 40 odd for 4. Narayan clubs that one out to cover. There's no run. I think Gurbaz seemed to take the view that anything he got was a bonus, so he might as well swing at everything.
Yep. Did pretty well at it as well, I thought.
Did all right, yep.
23, wasn't it, or 13? That's all right.
Narayan hasn't quite got going yet, but he's still there, 12 off 9.
Started off well, but he seems to have sort of hit the buffers a little bit.
He's hardly faced anything, to be fair, for the last 3 overs.
He's waving his bat around as if he's not happy with that. And now the umpire's waving someone on, presumably to replace his bat. Yeah. Oh, broken my bat. Give me another £600 bat so I can break that as well.
Is that what they cost?
Oh yeah, I can go up to 1,000 professional bats.
Wow.
These days, I know,
Yeah.
it's mad, isn't it? A few
And
years
they go
ago.
through them, and they go through them in no time. It's 'cause
If
the
I had
way
one of
they're
those
made,
and decided to sort of turn out for Staines and
The
Leyland's
strollers.
over 60s,
Yeah.
do you think I'd be smashing 4s and 6s all over the place?
The middle
Well,
would be
it
sweet.
Might go better, but you probably found it just. We'd probably find it just weird because they're so big and yet not heavy.
Yes.
Because they sort of press
Yeah.
it so
Yeah.
weirdly.
Famously, when I went to when we used to have Crookie used to do stuff with us years ago. He used to do this. He used to do something at the Spencer's place up in Northamptonshire, a sort of charity thing in the summer. And for a couple of years, me and Hendo, and 1 year it was Dan as well, went up and commentated on it. Oh, I got really smashed 1 year, but I ended up. I think the woman who does the operatic singing for the opening of the rugby was playing, and she was playing in the team that were fielding first, and she had to go off for the second inning, so they were short of a batsman at the end. So I went out to bat, and Chris Rogers was playing for our side.
Oh wow!
So I
Good
I borrowed his bat to go out there at number 11, dressed in jeans and shit. I was really quite pissed. Faced Monty Panesar.
Oh right.
Blocked him out solidly for 5 balls, but Chris Rogers' bat was enormous.
Yeah. And that one's a shorter ball from Natarajan, and it seemed to hit Narayan on the shoulder. He's not really. I can't really blame his bat for that one. But yeah, I understand if a bat lasts you a whole season, that's amazing these days.
No, they don't. No. Well, they don't press them anymore, do they? I mean,
That's the thing. That's
why
it.
they're
They
so
don't
springy.
press them. Yeah.
And that was the thing, wasn't it? I mean, that's what made them last. But now they don't
Might
give
actually
it to
have clipped Narayan on the side of the head, so we're going to have another delay. It did, just caught him in front of the ear. So we're going to get a concussion delay, which is fair enough. They should do that.
Aussie, good old Aussie Chris Rogers had some good seasons at Middlesex. Did Aussie Chris?
And he had an Indian summer of Test cricket in his career.
He did. He absolutely did. He was once on 94 or 95 overnight, and I saw him in the tavern. Good luck tomorrow, Chris. He was out second ball, having not made his ton.
Well, he made plenty of others. I've told this story before.
Oh yes, you've read his autobiography, haven't you?
No. A coach of mine had a not very successful first-class career. He's mostly around the second team. He got a few games for Derbyshire and such like. That's hit on the pad. It's full. It must be going down leg though. But he did score. He got to 99 in the last over of the day. He said he nailed one to cover, and he thought that's 4 and I've got it. The guy stopped it, but because he had just admired the shot, he could have got through for a single on the misfield, but he didn't. And then of course he was out the next morning, and he never made 100. That was his highest score.
Oh, so we both stopped him. Well, you just read about it.
He told me about it. I looked him up on Wikipedia and brought it up after I'd known him for about 2 years. I thought I'd known him long enough to bring up this sensitive topic. That's a good Yorker from Natarajan, and that's what he's known for. Narayan just digs it out, and he's on 12 off 12, which is not his usual start.
No, it's been very, very slow and cautious, hasn't it, by Narayan. Fortunately, the runs have been coming the other end to the tune of
I don't
57.
think it's been cautious. He's just not seemed to have been timing the ball at all, even his boundaries. Well, he's got this legendary low control percentage this season. It's around 50%.
What's a low control percentage?
There's a stat. It obviously is subjective to some degree, but as long as they're the same with everybody, you can make comparisons, and it's the percentage of your shots that are judged to be controlled.
Oh yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
That is a wide, I think. If it's too short, yeah.
So if his control percentage is low, that implies
he's just swinging.
Yes,
he's swinging, giving it. Yeah,
and his was around 50%, which is extraordinarily rarely low.
Yes, it is.
How many runs he scored in this IPL?
How many? I'm not sure, but at least 400. Pretty good for an all-rounder.
Probably find that out on the net.
Yeah, everyone's looking up on their phones. Don't look up Cricinfo, it'll probably break.
No, it seems to be back now. Whatever they were doing, they seem to have solved. It might just have been too many hits. Their
Natarajan.
server was
4 dots and a wide so far from Natarajan.
straining.
And he comes in again, left arm over. Narayan's got hold of it, but not super convincingly, but it's bisected deep mid wicket and long on, and he'll get 4.
That was all about placement, which was perfect.
Giuliani had his reasons for selecting his landscape seasons. There were 4.
And that takes the deficit below 100. Well, he's hit 49 fours and 32 sixes in this IPL. If you add those up, that's 400 on their own. Mind you, probably hasn't hit many singles. It's probably most of the runs. A little bit too full, but he's going to get away with it. It's driven up to long on for a single. That's the end of the power play, and it certainly was KKR win the battle of the power plays. They're 63 for 1 off 6. And we're going to have a timeout, so we can...
Well, Jersey Oak is... reassuring us is YY Pom that he's still here, though this bear game may send me off to the pub, he says. Well, stick with us if you can. We'll see how it goes from there. Let me have a look and see if YouTube has woken up at the prospect of 3 fine figures of men looming before you. Well, yes, I think so. Let's have a look. Graham Cottrell, how do you think these temporary pitches in the USA will play?
Well,
like in the T20 World Cup
before. It's really an unknown quantity, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the ones they're shipping over there, I agree. Is the game being played today between USA and Bangladesh? That's clearly one of the venues, isn't it?
Well, that must be on one of the drop-in pitches, surely.
Yeah.
Or
where are they? Dallas, New York,
and Miami? Not sure.
No. No, I can't remember the third of the venues. Where's the third venue? Mess. I thought I heard Messrs just now. Oh, I dreamt that. Florida. It is Florida.
Yeah, Miami.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Christ, he's got 460 run runs so far this series.
Well, would you play a warm-up on one of the drop-in pitches? Or not? I don't know.
I'm not sure. In New York, they're putting down 10 pitches. 4 of them are for practice purposes, as I understand.
Well, they'd have to be, because, I'm sure they aren't even playing 10 games in New York.
Yeah.
Apparently, Shakib Al Hassan has managed 6 off 12, according to Farron, who sent us a message.
Bangladesh are struggling a bit,
which is not
versus
exactly
the USA. Fucking hell.
Well, that might, judge the pitch after Bangladesh have bowled at the USA.
Well, and I'm sure they'll bowl the USA out for fuck all, but
we shall see.
So, of course, I didn't really think of that. It's not just one drop-in pitch for each venue. It's, as you say, 10. Yeah, I suppose.
A lot of them, as they say, are from Australia.
Shipped over from Australia. Doesn't seem very... You can put as many little trees in place of dots as you like on the scorecard. That doesn't sound very environmentally friendly.
No, but I guess they wanted... It's the ICC. They didn't want some stupid American making pictures that they didn't know what they were making.
Grand Prairie Stadium.
Don't have it in America, then.
Well, yeah. The Nassau County International Stadium, that's New York. Lauderhill, where's Lauderhill then?
Surely that's in Florida, isn't it?
Fort
That's the one in
Lauderdale?
Florida. Okay. Brian Laura, okay, that's the rest are, yeah.
In the
So
West
Grand
Indies,
Prairie must be Dallas. Nassau County is New York. And then the Central Brownwood Regional Park Stadium, which I've got a feeling
that's in
might
New
be
York.
Broward. No, that's Lauderhill. There's only one in New York.
Well, it's in a park in New York. I know that much.
It's in New York then. Okay, that's the Nassau County International Cricket Stadium then, where I would imagine today's game's being played then.
Right, well, Pat Cummins is going to come back. He's been more of a middle overs bowler in this tournament.
Prairie View, there it is.
His 1 over so far has gone for 16, which is not so good. See what he can do. He already knocked off half the runs he scored with the bat in that 1 over. Going to bolt in. Ryan has a huge flash outside edge.
No control there.
That's not going to be one of his 50% control shots because it flies over the keeper and beats third man, who was fine but not fine enough.
I'm four. Have you met me before?
A little shrug from Narayan. I don't think he can believe this season he's having.
No.
He's not going to do it again, that's for sure. This is definitely the top of his range.
Well, actually, this one isn't. I'm not sure it is, because this is Houston, which I don't think is one of the grounds in the World Cup. So they're playing at Prairie View, Houston. This warm-up game for Bangladesh.
Slaps that over square leg, but he's picked out the man in the leg side. Of course, they've got more men out now after the power play. So, yep, Narayan always going to be there for a good time, although he has also been there for a long time in this tournament. Not today, he's out for 21. Well, I don't think that's really a mindset thing. That's what he's been doing the whole tournament.
That was the 50% that wasn't in control then.
Indeed.
One of those
that went to the fielder, and Cummins was a bit back of a length, and although it's not my favourite phrase, perhaps a bit too heavy a ball for Narayan.
Yeah, that's a phrase that has very much crept into the
heavy ball
cricket vernacular. The heavy ball, yeah.
Basically, someone who bangs it in.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But he's done his job. Narayan, the openers have put KKR into a position where they need 93 off 82, and you're almost saying, well, the real batsmen are coming in now, because it's Venkatesh Iyer is joined by his non-brother Shreyas Iyer.
Indeed, here he is.
Shreyas Iyer, you've been down too long in the IPL. Come join the test team as well.
That's Iron Maiden, isn't it?
No, it's Dio.
Oh, Dio.
Excellent work. Now, Shreyas Iyer had been a bit more metal. He'd have run through for two there, because he could have done.
You know what we should have here? A bit of Electric Light Orchestra. Iyer and Iyer, baby.
That's someone else who's got an Iyer and Iyer one like that.
Have they?
That's You Take Me, Iyer and Iyer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who's the Iyer who's in the... might be Shreyas Iyer also has that jingle as well,
yeah,
actually.
it's possible, yeah.
Because he did play in the Test Series, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has got that jingle as well.
Cummins is in again. It's short, and he went for... Clarkson's gone up, or is it just a wicketkeeper being a dick? No, it's just a wicketkeeper being a dick. Batsman tried to flick it over the wicketkeeper. Clarkson caught it, and either actually thought it was out or was just doing wicketkeeper things, threw it up in the air. Sunrisers have got no reviews left, so screw them anyway, after those LBWs didn't work out.
I did work with a guy who we used to call Isaiah, because literally he did have one eye higher than the other.
No, you can't.
Missed that by a mile.
You can't. You be reported to HR for that.
Well, that was. I'm going back 50 odd years.
Here's Cummins, steps away and clubs him over long off. Quite a remarkable six there from Venkatesh.
Super shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, here you go. I even remember the chap's name. I don't know if he's still with us, bless him. His name was Colin Northway. We also used to call him Colin Bothways. And he would insist on... We played quite a few cricket matches as an agency, and he'd always insist on opening the batting, and I never ever saw him last the first over out.
Yeah. We've all played with that guy.
He was the managing director.
Yeah.
I shall open the batting and I shall open the bowling.
Basically.
Because I'm in charge.
Chopped down to backward point, and there's no run, but he'd already done the business off that over Venkatesh. But Cummins would argue he did the business because he got Narayan out. So it's 74 for 2 off 7.
That's me, isn't it? I better see if anyone is...
Is there anyone out there?
Is there anybody out there? That's Pink Floyd, isn't it?
Yep.
But no, not on Twitter.
Well, Bangladesh managed to scrape to 153 for 6.
Well, they say judge it on an unknown quantity of a ground and pitch.
Mind you, the bowlers for America, they're very American. Ali Khan and Surath Netravalkar.
Oh no, there is life. There's definite life on YouTube. Kieran Roseblade, USA having a practice on an unknown pitches is the only way to give the home side an advantage. That's what happens in World Cups, isn't it? Coughs. India.
Corey Anderson, isn't that the Corey Anderson who used to play for New Zealand?
Whose name inevitably inspires a whole bunch of herb puns.
But I think he's about 38 now.
Well, he's probably good enough to play for America.
Well,
I mean, this is it. I thought
yeah.
Liam Puckett was going to play for him because he qualified.
Oh, there was
he?
some talk about that. Yeah.
Kieran Roseblade, by the way, also says, sorry folks, I think my feed just swapped over to Gorilla Top of the Pops.
Oh well.
Righto, mate.
They wouldn't put Dio on Top of the Pops.
No.
They rock too much.
Was that the Holy Diver album? That's the only one I know. My
That's
brother
a good
had
one.
it.
Yeah, that's the first one. Viashant is on to bowl, and that one is knocked into the leg side for a single. Have a look at an ultra edge on that last ball. No, it's miles away from the bat. Miles away.
Yes, Pat, you can say how's that. Not out, mate. Not out.
You've blown both your reviews and your captain, so there's no point in looking at anybody else.
Oh, that's
Big
gone a long
slog
way.
from Venkatesh. I think it has gone a long way. It's certainly gone far enough. That's 6 over mid-wicket.
You wound up for
the
that
very
one.
stoic KKR bench. You don't seem to get too excited, whatever happens.
Six.
Well, even though run rate isn't a factor in these knockout games, KKR seem to have a dinner date or something. They want to get this one done.
Well, funnily enough, that's the reason I have to leave early tonight.
To improve your run rate?
No, because I'm
going for a very nice lunch.
Dinner,
huh?
Where are you going anywhere nice?
No, someone coming around.
Oh, okay. So no, in fact, because it's your house.
So that's why, as much as I loved it, I'm slightly still regretting the Gulab Jamun, because that probably could have kept me going.
Take the edge off
not
your
just for
appetite.
today, but probably for the week.
Yeah, that one is rather clothed into the leg side. He'll pick up a single, certainly not hit as cleanly as that last 6.
Didn't miss one there, did I? No.
No, Shreyas is in again and just tips it into the leg. The offside is going to go out to deep point for an agreed single.
Who agrees an agreed single?
Well, everybody.
Everybody. Committee.
The batsman jog and then the fielder jogs to the ball.
Oh, well, yes, subconsciously.
Yes,
agreed.
implied
Everyone
consent.
knows it's a single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And of which there's going to be another as he punches it up to long off, and everyone jogs around that one.
Yeah. I get you. I know Manny used to use that phrase all the time, and it would always rankle me a little bit. What on earth are they talking about? Agreed single.
And then again, that's too short, but it hurries on just a little bit, so he can't go for the pull shot. And again, just plays it up to long on. They'll get another single. That's all they need. 75 off 72.
Yeah, it's looking comfortable, isn't it? To be honest, it's looking comfortable enough. And is there anybody else, or was Kieran? Yeah, Kieran's last comment was the Top of the Pops comment.
Well, join us for some international cricket tomorrow as the attacking world champions England take on Pakistan in their first warm-up game. Where is that game being played tomorrow?
That game is being played at Headingley.
Okay.
And describing themselves as not defending but attacking didn't go too well in the last World Cup that they defended.
Well,
honest.
I don't think they did it this time. I was just poking fun at them because that was a little bit silly.
Those girls are fucking useless. Totally useless.
They're quite chonky as well, I must say.
They are
Well,
chunky.
I was trying not to go there, but yes, I have to say the KKR ladies have been clearly going to the gym. Well, they've been going to the gym.
Also winning the cheerleading
The
battle.
SRH ladies appear to have been going to the nearest takeaway regularly.
Right, here's Cummins again. That one is dabbed down to third man. It'll be another single.
I mean, joking apart, that is an occupational hazard of going to India because the food by and large is just so fabulous.
Well, Ryan brought us in some amazing little
that's it.
sweetmeats at lunchtime.
That was the Gulab Jamuns that I was A, loving, but B, possibly slightly ruining, as I think I need to be creating a dinner later.
And yeah, Brian, I do appreciate you. Those hazelnut praline things were
and
actually
the beer. Oh, Brian, as ever,
were vegan, and I had a couple of those.
Magnificent.
Cummins in, batsman steps away. Cummins follows him, but the batsman wins because he clubs it over mid-wicket for 1 bounce 4. Venkatesh is not hanging around.
Go with this one.
They're down to run a ball territory now. It's a slower ball from Cummins. He tried to grip the surface, but it was too short, giving the batsman time to adjust. Easy pickings in the end, and that brings it down to run a ball territory, 70 off 70. Cummins is full, and a good ball goes out to cover, and there'll be no run.
Kieran Rosebley said, to be fair, England played the last World Cup like they had an early dinner date as well.
Yep.
If that was the goal, then mission accomplished, I reckon.
Well, they started to play 9 games. I mean, that World Cup just went on forever.
And Jersey Oak wants Manny back.
Yeah,
I'd
love to have Manny back. Yeah, but
tried.
People do other things. That one is taken down to long leg. They'll pick up a single. I don't think he's particularly...
Isn't he brewing his own beer and gin and all sorts of stuff
Yeah,
these
I
days,
put him in touch with his brewer. They opened up a brewery down in, I think it's Sussex somewhere, on an old farm.
Nice.
Rented a barn. Got my mate who was brewing beer at home. Very good beer as well.
Hairy Dog.
Yeah, that's it.
We're still advertising it on our website last time I looked.
Exactly. We should be asking him for back pay.
Well, I was about to say, are we getting a cut on that, or are we just doing that as a friendly gesture?
Well, we're just doing it as a I haven't taken it off gesture.
I haven't got round to removing
There you go. Advertise for Guerrilla Cricket. You might get some extra time. That one is clipped down to fine third man by Shreyas, and he's got his placement just right. The fielder doesn't even chase it. 1 bounce 4.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Well, it's true. I can't remember who does Racing Rant. He's one of our Australians. Is Jonathan Shawland?
No, Mr. Lambourne, I believe his name is, if I've gotten the name right.
And we originally did it because he did us a $50 Patreon. I don't think he's doing a $50 Patreon anymore, but we're still advertising Racing Rant.
Oh, that must... No, it's not out. He shoveled that one towards mid-wicket. Mid-wicket was there, making the bear happy, but it didn't go straight to him.
No, it didn't.
No, but if he hadn't been there, you just said it would have done.
Possibly.
Yes,
possibly.
Just because the fielder is there, he can't cover, 50 square yards. But anyway, he got a single in the end.
Pirate Badshah says, my minnow supporting blood pressure isn't in the mood for Manny. My minnow supporting blood pressure isn't in the mood for Manny. Okay.
Did Manny always support the overdogs?
No. Yes, basically.
Oh, did he?
Didn't see the point in minnows, I don't think.
Oh, well, possibly with the Pirates there. I mean, there's a few in this World Cup to look forward to. I know very little about
Uganda.
Uganda.
Look at Uganda.
In fact, my knowledge of most of these players comes from the fact that the tsunami of players I've never heard of with jingles that arrive, and my virtual in tray early in the morning from Mog and or Jeff. Fabulous. We got a fabulous one from Jeff.
We got Papua New Guinea,
Papua, PNG, Uganda.
Oh, and I think.
You're kidding! Oh,
right. I suppose I better describe that. Shreyas went down for a lap. He hit it. I think he hit it into Heinrich Klassen's helmet. It looped up. Klassen came out from wicketkeeper. Square leg came in from square leg, and I think Klassen had it, but he couldn't get his glove around it. And then the other guy crashed into him, which didn't help, and the ball ended up being spilled. But would it have been a catch if it had come off the keeper's helmet?
I don't think it is anymore, is it?
No, I think it's not. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Well, he goes after it. He gets it, but then he collides with Bhuvi Kumar, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he hits the ground and Kumar sort of tries to jump over him and catches his leg. But I think that was all moot, because I think once it comes off his helmet, it's dead.
Does it become a dead ball if it...
I think so. It's certainly if it hits short leg's helmet, it's dead ball.
It wasn't Bhuvi Kumar, I beg his pardon, but either way...
But we haven't seen definitively whether it came off his...
Oh, he crashes into his leg. No, it did come off his helmet. That I'm 100% sure about.
Well, we're spared the decision anyway because the fielder obligingly knocked it out of his gloves.
With his leg.
Because I think he probably holds on to that if he doesn't. So a bit of
he didn't look very happy.
Classen, well, but I think he's right not to be happy because the guy could have just taken him out. Anyway, that one turns in a little bit, but he's able to go back and punch it up to long off for a single, a rather more conventional single.
I've just realised I'm looking at the wrong match on Cricinfo. I'm just looking at the Bangladesh game. Let's see what Klassen does amazingly to get to a rebound catch. Well, there's no mention of it being a dead ball there.
I don't think they're going to know any more than we do.
Almost collides with mid-wicket running in and might have dropped it too. Okay, so no.
Venkatesh comes down the track and clips it up to long on for another single.
I think that is going to go down as a drop. 63 off 64 with just 2 wickets down really should be
we get
the
a look
simplest
from here.
walk, shouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely right on the badge. So if we've understood the laws correctly, and they do keep changing them, that wouldn't have been out anyway. Tipped around the corner. Fielder is not there, so they should get round for 2. They are going to.
Can I just take a moment to correct something Bear said? I wouldn't want it to go astray. Mark Lambourne is, in fact, a very generous Patreon on a monthly
Is he still
basis
doing it on the 50? That's why.
Yes.
That's why I put the racing rant up, and that's why I leave it there because I'm never quite sure. So, if you're listening, Mark, that's why it's still there, and you're still being advertised.
Shreyas is forward, and he pops it out to deep point. Nitish with the fielding. It's 101 for 2. Going to have a change at the end of the over. You might see us back again after 15. Then again, you might not, because it might all be done and dusted by then. But in the meantime, we are going to rotate for the next 5.
What's going up next? Me doing ball by ball, isn't it?
I think so. I think Ryan's going to come in. That's short, and that's hoiked away, and I think that's going to be 6 more. It is indeed. That makes that 16th over look a little bit less likely. It's 107 for 2 off 10. It's a bit of a bare game, I'm afraid, unless something remarkable happens. KKR look all set to claim their place in the final for 2024.
There seem to be a few people agreeing with you on other forums that if it hits the wicket-keeper's helmet and is caught, the catch is not a clean catch. I think I'm out of here. I shouldn't be sitting here. Someone should be sliding into my seat. Shall that be you?
Bear, me and Ryan. Thank you, Tony. So we'd love a tweet or two. You seem to be very quiet tonight.
What was that? I missed that. Oh.
So tomorrow's game, Bear, do you know what time it starts? It's a bit later, isn't it?
I have no idea. I assume we were doing the other qualifier or the eliminator, but apparently we're not. I just know that I'm going to be here. I assume around about 3 o'clock. So.
No, I think it's a bit later than that.
It's a 6:30 start, isn't it?
6:30 start. Yeah, I won't be on. I'll be asleep.
Bugger.
I think Saturday's game is an
3 o'clock. Yeah. No, it's 6:30. That's right.
It's just a formality from here right now, right?
That's dropped. Oh dear. Shreyas Iyer has driven that straight to backward point, and he shelled it straight away. Who dropped it? Travis Head. Oh, for fuck's sake, bloody stupid Australian. Serves you right with a tash like that. I think they know they're done in this game, don't they? But they get another chance.
Yeah.
And KKR are top of the rankings at the moment, aren't they? Top of the league.
Am I audible? I don't hear my voice in my...
Yeah, you are audible. You might just play around with this. Yeah, better? Yeah.
Oh, it's a 6.
Oh, I missed that. I was playing around with your thing. What happened? Smashed it into the crowd, clearly. Well, we'll give it a jingle and then I'll tell you what happened on the replay. 47 required of just 58 balls. Slower one, straight back over, long off. Held the pose a little bit. It went up quite high, but he got enough length on it. This is where I think...
Dropped off the previous ball, and the next ball he smashed for a 6.
This is where I think India might struggle in the World Cup with the bigger boundaries.
Yeah.
there was a lot of it a couple of years ago in the World Cup where the boundaries were 75 metres and everyone kept getting caught on the boundary, and there were quite a few low scores.
People want to see the most number of sixes hit.
Well, do that, I don't know. It gives the bowlers a bit of a chance, doesn't it? I don't, exactly. Guided down towards third man, I get a single. I want to see good competition between bat and balls. The boundaries are too... I mean, that 6 earlier we thought was going to be out from... Was it Henrik Klaassen earlier? I mean, it was a complete fucking top edge. I mean, didn't deserve 6. And actually, you looked at Pat Cummins when he got that 6 over the keeper as a top edge... And the 6 was 63 metres, and it landed about 10 or 15 metres over the boundary. I mean, how short is that boundary? It's fucking insane.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But people enjoy sixes more than the wickets.
I don't want to see sixes. I want people to be caught trying to hit sixes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you mistime a shot and the bowler's beaten you, it's unfair that it just still glides over the fucking boundary. As that's played up towards mid-arm, mid-wicket comes cross field, and it's a no-run.
But that's not the mentality of most of the Indian people who watches IPL.
I know, but they're not going to be all... the World Cup isn't just about the Indian population, thankfully. You know.
Absolutely right.
I mean, it's fine for domestic consumption, but it's not going to win you anything. If they all play like that, they could cause themselves some trouble. Direct hit. But I don't think he's out. I think he's comfortably home. It was hit back to the bowler, who half fielded it. It sort of dribbled past him. Shreyas committed to the run. He got to his end. Venkatesh was a bit slow going to the other. By the time the fielder picked it up and decided to throw it to the striker's end, he was home. He took out a middle stump. Good throw, but not out. Yeah, it's a good half stop by the bowler. Is it Natarajan?
Yeah, it's Natarajan. Yeah. It's Vijay Kant again, so he...
If they go upstairs for that, I'm going to get really upset. No, they didn't bother, thankfully.
He took the 2 catches, so... Vijay Kant.
Well, okay. Shreyas.
Last ball,
facing
around
up
the wicket.
Yeah, and just guided down to a very fine third man for 4 runs. Good shot.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary, crossing a boundary.
They're scooting along now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're scoring more than 10 runs in an over. With this run rate, they'll finish the match within the next 4 overs.
Yeah.
Yes. Kieran Roseblake says, if I got hit in the helmet while standing at short leg, I'd definitely have a dead ball. Pirate Bradshaw says, I remember periodically checking the Cricinfo BBB during the Ireland versus PNG intercontinental match at Townsville in 2016. Those were the days. And prematurely slipping off into my old codger territory. Oh dear. It's not such a bad place to be, Parrot. Kieran says, I don't think people enjoy sixes more than wickets. That's what the IPL enjoys. Cricket fans enjoy watching cricket, not just sixes. Yeah, I'm with you entirely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They take a whole level of skill out of cricket.
That's a new bowling. Travis Head comes into the attack.
Ah, Travis Head is around the wicket.
And the fast ball, Venkatesh Iyer cuts towards a point for a 4.
Exactly. So we should give him a jingle.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Nice shot, just went back. Just beat the man at backward point. Travis Head again. Ooh, floated that up wide. There's an appeal for stumping. No, a catch, no.
Flights that nicely and got a bit of turn.
Yeah, threw out wide. It's a tempter. And he was tempted. And he missed it. I thought he was going for the stumping, which they go upstairs for, but it seemed to indicate that he was going for a catch, and they can't review that because they haven't got any reviews left.
I want Shreyas Iyer in the strike right now. He's known for hitting sixes against off spinners, and Travis Head is a part-time off spinner. I'm sure he's itching to hit a few more sixes.
Absolutely. Well, tried to reverse sweep that, or pull it, or do something ugly. He's got a glove. It's just dropped down to pretty much where short leg would be, but it got through for a single.
And Shreyas Iyer is back into strike.
Yep.
3 more balls left. How many sixes?
3, hopefully. I want to get out of here as soon as possible now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This game needs to be done quick.
I think that's why Pat Cummins gave the ball to Travis Head.
Yeah, you think so? Bowl some pies, mate. Bowl some pies. Let's get out of here. 36 runs required. That's down leg side. Oh dear. Yeah, well, the fielder's in on the act 2 because he's just jumped over the top of it and let it go down to a very fine leg for 4 runs.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
I can do this and over. 32 runs required.
Come on, Shreyas. Help us to leave early. He's bowling very clear.
Yeah. Round the wicket into the pads. He's just gone back, worked that down to backward square leg, gets himself a single.
But still, they already scored 10 runs in this over.
Yeah.
Thanks to the poor fielding by Natarajan.
Well, I don't even know what the 31, so it's 160 is to win. So, yeah. Anyone into the IPL? The IPL, the GPL. Defended out to cover, and there is no run.
I doubt it very much.
I completely forgot to mention it, so yeah, I very much doubt it as well. Let me have a look. Competitions. No one entered. Hopefully people will enter in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I didn't actually open it. I've got the wrong date. No. Oh no, that's tomorrow. I've set up a GPL for the Eliminator, which is which I'll have to delete because that's not going to happen. But no one entered today either, so it doesn't matter.
Bhuvaneswar Kumar back into the attack. Oh no, Nitish Kumar Reddy.
Ah yeah, Nitish Kumar. Let's give him a jingle. Here you go.
You won't keep Nitish Kumar down. After he kills and eats you, he'll still be around.
Okie dokie. Who's that with a helmet on? Who's next in?
I would bring in Andre Russell to finish the things up.
Oh god, yeah, of course. I'd like to see a bit of Andre Russell. This is it. We just haven't covered KKR this entire.
Yeah, I think so. We haven't covered KKR and CSK. I think so.
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully, we'll end this game before the another timeout.
No, they'll probably get that in, won't they? Because they always bloody do. They can't take it before 14 overs, can they? Yeah. That one is guided down to third man. I got a single. Yeah.
Good 63-run partnership between Shreyas and Venkatesh, which Sunrisers lacked of.
Yeah. Well, this is it. They'd lost 4 wickets by the end of the power play, hadn't they?
Yeah.
So, what they say, lose 3 in the power play, and that's it. Game done. So.
But from there on, they scored 160, which is quite a respectable total.
Well, they got going, didn't they? I mean, when Klassen was in with
50 partnership.
Yeah, with who was he in with? I can't even remember who it was.
Rahul Tripathi.
Yes, they were doing all right, and then it all went to pot.
Slow one from around the wicket.
Yep, driven up towards long on. They'll get just a single. And the score moves on to 131 for 2 on the 13th over. Venkatesh 45 of 26, Shreyas Iyer 31 of 18, 29 required of.
What will be the thinking of Pat Cummins right now? 29 of 46.
When's this going to be over? We'll wait until Friday. Or do they play it? So they play. No, the eliminators tomorrow. Then the second qualifier is on
Friday,
isn't it?
On Friday, yeah.
Pulled nicely by. There's no one down there. It's a good shot by Shreyas Iyer. Pulled, got over the top of it. Down to backward, deep square leg. No one down there. 4 more runs.
4 on the floor, and 1 more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
No. Right now, I need to talk about the KKR backroom staff. And the last time KK reached the finals was 2012, I think.
2012?
Yeah, wow. I'm not sure, 2012 or 13. But they lost their last finals against CSK. And after that, they haven't reached finals yet. So
good for them. Clipped out to deep mid wicket. And I'll get a single.
Gautam Gambhir back into the KKR setup after a long period. Straight away, they gained some good changes.
Okay.
Good thing behind changing the backroom staff, and they're reaping their rewards.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of good players that's driven back to the boulder. There's no one, and it's about getting the right mix on the pitch. I get that. That's fine. But then it comes down to the players and a little bit of momentum, bit of self-belief. It's T20. I think until you get to the end of the competition, when you know you either can go through or you can't go through. I mean, if you play enough cricket, you know that on your day you can beat anyone.
Yeah,
and we had a bad day, we got hammered, and
Yeah.
you've got to be able to put that behind you. Just go the next day and try and play your best, especially as a batsman in this format, because you can go, that's picked up gloriously by Venkatesh Iyer. Dropped a bit short but didn't get up, and he was just able to swivel. He's a tall man anyway,
which brought up his 50 as well.
yeah, and heaved it over Cal. Well, mid wicket. It's one of these, and he gets to
50, pretty nifty on a bowler's pitch.
Of course, there's never a bowler's pitch in the IPL, but there you go.
No.
But you know what I mean? I mean, in this competition, I guess where the backroom gets it right is picking the right players in your squad and getting the right squad on the pitch.
Yeah, what Gambhir did was straight away send Sunil Narine into the opening position. Which
he'd done a few years back quite
when
successfully, wasn't he? Yeah, because he's, there's no point in having a middle order, and if he's down, he's a pinch hitter, right?
Yeah.
If he comes off like he has this season, he gets you a load of runs. If he doesn't waste any time. That one's picked up as well around the wicket. It's Travis Head, and
sends it to the deep square leg.
Second tier.
Yeah.
For another one of these. Where are we at? Let's have this one. Oh, we could get there before the end of the.
Two more sixes to finish things up.
2 more sixes to finish it off. We don't have to have a see it fucking timeout. There's one of them. No, that's going to be a 4. Or is it out? No, it's one bounce 4. So a good shot. Just toss it up, please. It's a total bear game.
Absolutely.
It's only 6:15 is the earliest we finish for a while.
Oh,
that one's gone into the stands. He gave it a little bit of air, and Shreyas Iyer watched it and then decided it was up there to hit. Put his foot down the wicket, slammed it square leg. So he's got 6, and he has got himself a 50 as well.
You know you lift me with your 50.
And he's done it in just 23 deliveries.
Yeah. Thanks to Travis Head.
Well, Venky did it in 28, so both pounding along. And that's it. That's the. Oh no, he could be out.
No, I think it's
that's gone all the way. That's the game. We're done. We don't have to get to another bloody timeout. Thank fuck for that. It's one of these. And the game is over. Venkatesh Iyer finishes on 51 of 28. Shreyas Iyer 58 of 24. KKR win by 8 wickets.
And
they
it's going
absolutely hammered them.
Yeah, humming to a defeat for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah. Well,
how they're going to come back?
That's exactly my point. You're second in the table. You got humbled by them people at the top. You get another chance on Friday. You go, fuck it, we go again then. Forget about today. We might have another chance at KKR on Sunday.
Yeah.
Play well on Friday. You get another day, and you got to think, well, 2 and 3, we've got to the top. We're second in the table. 2 out of 3, we do well, right?
Chance to revenge.
Exactly.
Kieran says, thanks for the commentary, guys. Great way to spend an afternoon, as always. And Brian says, night all. Good night, guys. Thank you for being here.
Good night. Not a lot more to say. That's the qualifier one. It's done. SRH Sunrisers get another chance on Friday. Tomorrow's the eliminator. We'll keep you abreast of it. We won't keep you abreast of that because it'll be over by the time. Well, it might not be over by the time we start. We're doing Pakistan-England tomorrow, or England-Pakistan actually, and we'll be on there about 6:30. So hopefully some of you will join us for that. The international season starts. We're finally, very nearly, at the end of this hyper bloated, inflated IPL that's been going on forever. So, until tomorrow evening, we shall say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we